Hello, do you like New Japan Pro Wrestling? Are you a Shin Nihon freak? If so, check out the Super J-Cast with Joel and Damon on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
And even if you fucking hate New Japan Pro Wrestling, listen to the Super J-Cast anyway. Not just for our great show reviews, analysis, and pastrami sandwiches, but there's also usually some dick jokes somewhere in the obligatory opening 30 minutes of absolute nonsense we chat about every single week. That's the Super J-Cast for all the best talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, crisps, and pornography.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Here we go! Kiss me like a love star. So I'm calling. Whoa, 君の片想い涙の失恋も Give me two, give me five, give me double shadows.
You're listening to the Emerald Flow Show on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
Welcome to episode 66 of the Emerald Flow Show. We're a podcast on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. You can follow us on X at Emerald Flow Show, and you can listen to us on all of your favorite podcast apps. If you could leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, that would be amazing. And if you're feeling generous, you can donate to the show at voicesofwrestling.com/donate. I'm Gerard here with Paul. Paul, we were both away for a bit, so that's why the gap between episodes. So we have a lot to cover.
Yeah. Well, actually, I should mention, though, that I was planning to record like a solo episode, basically just after the Noah Yokohama show. But kids, let me tell you, don't drink whiskey on an empty stomach with communists. Like, that will fuck you up real bad. And then I was basically not able to do anything that day.
So we do have a lot to cover, but Paul, there's only one topic we can start the show off with.
Yes. Somehow the meme continues.
Third time's the charm, because Jake Lee is finally in the grade 1 climax.
I knew things were dire for New Japan. I didn't know they were this dire.
Well, I don't know.
No, it's just more of the meme of Jake actually making it in after everybody
Tomohiro
leaves.
Ishii. I mean, people have been talking about Ishii finally leaving, but I'm just saying that like Ishii or Yoshihashi or, it's not like this is like they have no other choice but to put Jake in this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And also, I would 100,000% rather have Jake in there than like the likes of like Toru Yano or Chase Owens. Like, I'd much rather have Jake in there than those guys.
Absolutely.
Tangaloa.
Tangaloa is gone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like, it's still, like Jake is actually a significant improvement over like a decent percentage of the G1 field over the last years.
So Paul, we'll just skip ahead to some news that came out on one of the shows we're covering, but GLG is going to disband after the Budokan show in July.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Jake's leaving Noah?
I mean, we kind of did this whole song and dance last year, right, with Kaito. But this one feels like it has a bit more of a higher likelihood to happen. Like before, like with GLG still there, I was like, yeah, there's no way he's like jumping to like New Japan.
Yeah.
But like with them disbanding the faction and kind of as we're going to talk about later as well, like for example, Anthony Green probably not being Indian One. I think that makes it a lot more likely that Jake is just might be leaving as well. Like it seems like there's at least a little bit of a roster turnover coming to Noah.
Yeah, that's very possible. And didn't now that I think of it, because I just popped into my head, but I thought I saw something yesterday. But wasn't Wagner telling someone, he's like, oh no, I'm under contract with Noah until January?
Yeah.
It sound like he managed to get a 1-year contract in a title run just to take off again.
Yeah, essentially. Like, I mean,
again,
to be fair,
none of this is confirmed, but there's just, it just seems like
the roster definitely seems like it's in a bit of flux at the moment. Let's put it that way. Like, there definitely seems like they're going to do some reworks of it in the near future.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't know. Like, do we actually know that Jake ever signed a contract?
No.
Right? That was never actually confirmed. Like, because a lot of people in Japan, like a lot more people, like
I'm not shocked that they gave the title to someone without a contract, because that happens.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of surprised they gave a faction that got a lot of rub to a guy without a contract.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we assumed he has a contract, right? Because he got a long title reign, he got his own faction and everything. So it was like logical that they would. But then again, I mean, New Japan did that with Minoru Suzuki. Like, he was never really under contract.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
And Suzuki ran forever. So it's not unprecedented. It's just kind of weird to like put this much on a guy that could technically walk and just go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll start off actually by saying, since we're on the topic of Jake and I didn't see the show, did you see any of the All Together?
No, because it's on the service I can't access, and
I
don't know, especially for these shows, I was just not willing to do that.
I'm not gonna lie, I tried other one, I couldn't even find it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, it's not even like this.
Which is funny because I could find all sorts of other things with all sorts of nefarious means, but not this show.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to be more. Yeah,
I think that just reflects on not anti-piracy efforts by Yuma, but interest in the show.
No, nobody gave a shit about either All Together show. Like, especially the second one, nobody cared about.
Look,
like, I didn't see anybody either in like the Voice of Wrestling Slack, nor like the Voice of Wrestling Discord. There were like nobody was talking about it.
Well, it's funny because I asked some people in the Discord if they had seen the match, and I'm seeing that like it didn't get much praise at all.
Yeah.
There's one review on Cage Match, and it's like it's a 2.0. Okay, so Philippe, I wonder if that's the same Philippe that's in the VOW Discord. But anyway, 2.0 on the Cage Match scale, and then 1.25 stars on the 5-star scale. The worst match I've ever seen from both men. This was straight up awful. But if it was just awful, I would have given more. The problem is that not only was the action pathetic, boring, lifeless, and torturing, it was also 30 minutes. This was just painful to watch. Holy shit. I wish I could take those minutes back. Now, I had heard another review from someone in the Discord who just said it was very dull. But I have not heard a positive review from anyone.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like even in the lead up, like the only interesting thing they did was like Naito holding up Jake's eyes, as Tadasuke gets annihilated by Shingo.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. If you've seen it, let us know. And what's your thoughts?
I mean, and the other problem as well, right? Because the Budokan show is also going to be on that same service as well. So I might have to take a quick trip to the Philippines to watch that show.
Yeah, I'm going to try to watch that live.
I mean, I heard Jollibee is really delicious, so I'm just going to, book some tickets.
We have Jollibee in Canada, and it's actually really good.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, like I said, I heard only good things about it, so I do want to try it. So hey, the company I work for opened an office in Manila, so I have plenty of excuses.
I was just gonna say, if Jake does jump, I don't really. It's like a total non-factor. It's great for him, but I don't think it means anything for New Japan and all.
No. Like what are they going to do with him? I mean, again, he will be in the exact same spot he was going to be in now in Noah, and that he was going to be in an All Japan, which is an upper mid card gatekeeper. because that's just
but
his role.
here's the thing: I do not see New Japan giving him a title run
No.
with anything other than maybe the Never.
No, like he's gonna come in and he's gonna get beaten like a drum by all the young guys because
Look,
they need someone
unless there's
to put
a
them.
startling difference in pay, it seems like Jake is chasing that.
He might also still be chasing. I mean, yes, he's probably doing that. He might also still be chasing that citizenship as well.
Well, if Noah can't, if like Cyber Agent,
yeah, that's the thing. I don't think Bushido could help him more.
I don't think Bushido could more.
Yeah, it's a fucked situation, like because there's no way he shouldn't be a citizen, but yeah.
Right. So that's everything on that end. But we had to start the show by noticing of course.
It's going to be in the title as well. So
and I don't know, I'll have to see. Did they do the blocks? Yes, they did the blocks. Whose block is he in?
He's gonna face.
Yeah, he's gonna face Naito again.
Yeah, he's gonna get the win back. Yeah, like if he's not in the Naito block, he might actually make it out of his block. I don't remember actually off the top of my head what the blocks are.
Oh, here we are. Block A. Naito. He's in block A. Naito, Umino, Shingo Takagi, Sonata, Great Khan, Zack Sabre Jr., Gabe Kidd, Evil, and Jake Lee plus that tournament.
But just going to be Callum Newman.
Yeah. So let me see here. Jake. Jake against Shingo would like to see. That's about it.
I don't know, Jake versus Gabe. But then again, because the problem was like in the whole, we're going to talk about it, but the problem of like the tag and Kurikan was that Jake just didn't match the energy. And yeah.
No. Zach versus Jake could be good because like Jake can do mat stuff if he wants.
Yeah. And it's like another like lanky guy as well.
Yeah. But nothing like pops off. Like, so Zach and Shingo are probably the big one. I feel like
were they same, or was that when Jake was injured when Shingo did the Champion Carnival? Because I don't remember if they had one there.
Jake was injured that year.
Yeah, that was when he like fucked up his knee, right?
Yeah. Like Jake versus Sonata could be hilarious. I could see
the All Japan failed sons facing off against each other.
Well, to be fair, Sonata was not a fail son in All Japan. What Jake was.
True. I mean, true. Yes, because he literally like popped out as a young boy with Muto. So yeah, doesn't really count.
Yeah, Sonata left before he could plateau and all. Umino. I mean, his match against Umino could fall flat. I mean, that's got potential. Like, you know, them being more ambitious than they can pull off type thing. Khan, whatever. Gabe Kidd could be. We'll see. Evil, no interest, obviously. And Naito, I mean, look, if they want to do 15 minutes or something, then, you know, maybe they could do.
But it's also, I think it's because like this Tranquilo thing really doesn't work with Jake's sleepiness. I feel like, like I could see that. Like I assume that was probably the problem with the All Together match as well. When it's just two guys basically doing that, there's just no energy.
All right, so that is Jake in the G1. Congratulations to him. Okay, so let's move on next to the Voice of Wrestling is doing the 30 under 30 for 2024. Paul and I both were on the voting committee, and we can reveal our actual lists on the show, I guess, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of the list so far? Because as of this recording on, well, my time, your time, evening of the 26th, my time, 2:23 p.m. on the evening of the 26th, we have the 30 to 60 intros and honorable mentions, and the 30 to 16 released. But what do you think so far?
Yeah, I like the list so far. I think there's a lot more variety than there was last year.
Yeah, there's more vote. I didn't vote last year. There's more voters this.
Yeah, there's more voters there. I think the list in general, like this, I think it shows a good variety of people. I'm surprised by some people like not making it, or some people actually do making it. I'm really happy that Abe actually like got on and got like, I feel like he has actually gained a lot more like prominence over this last year, because I feel like I was like one of the few people that voted for him last year.
So Paul, I didn't have Abe. He was one of my last cuts.
Ooh.
And you know why?
Why?
Because I think he's set into his role for the rest of his career as the journeyman.
True, but
where like I was
the quality of work to me is like
sure, okay, yeah. No doubt. He's one of the best. I will put him on like, you know, I will be voting. I mean, I vote in the Fighting Spirit list at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year. and I'll be voting for Abe for again this year, probably, unless he gets injured or something. But to me, the 30 under 30 is future potential is a big thing for me. I mean, obviously everyone votes differently, but I'm just giving the rationales why Abe was one of my last cuts, because I'm like, okay, so where is this where could this person head later in their career type thing?
Fair enough. Because I did actually put a lot on achievement in the year under review on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was that's for example why I didn't last year I voted for MGF, and I did I've actually put him number 1 last year. I didn't vote for him. It is still obviously future potential plays a role, but I didn't vote for him at all this year, because yes, the potential is there in theory, but he just showed me some of the worst.
Oh, absolutely.
I've ever seen.
Spoiler alert, I didn't have him on my list either.
Yeah. I do think there is potential there, but I don't know. It's I guess maybe the same where I'm it's you were for Abe, where it's yeah, he's kind of set into his role, where I'm I don't know what he showed me that he has some pretty bad instincts for wrestling, and I don't know, even with all of the accolades that might be heaped upon him, if he can overcome those bad instincts.
Yeah.
And again, I literally went to a show in Wembley Stadium and watched the main event. It was so bad that I walked out, and I can't vote for someone that does that.
That is funny, but you're right. No, I mean, he drove me away from watching AEW.
Yeah.
So, and I still haven't. Well, I will go and watch the big matches, but I simply don't have any enthusiasm or interest in sitting down.
Yeah, he's done that to a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to go with your list, or should I?
I think actually what we could do is we kind of start from the bottom. We each read out who we have, we'll reach go from the bottom, basically read out who's there, and then the other one can say whether or not they have that person higher. If they have that person higher, then we'll talk about it at the higher position, and then otherwise we just talk about that person briefly. So kind of go back and forth essentially, rather than just read out the lists one after the other.
Okay. So I'll start then.
Mm-hmm.
Number 30, I had Zara Zacher.
Okay, yeah, I didn't. Nope, not on my list.
Okay, so Zara was who's caught my eye that I'm going to stick on number 30. And I thought about it. And there was a couple of different other little known indie wrestlers I thought about, but I really like her. She has already done shows for Tokyo Joshi. She did training at the New Japan Dojo in LA. She is got a power style. So I think she just really stands out as someone that could be with a lot of potential, with a unique style, as in women's wrestling. And so I think she's someone that I see big things.
I have Kota Sekifuda at number 30.
I do not have him on my list. No.
He was actually originally my last cut, but then I accidentally put Yota Tsuji on, not accidentally, but I put Yota Tsuji on my list, not realizing that he was actually already 30. So right. I had to take off Yota Tsuji and just bumped everybody up one space that was under him. And that meant Sekifuda made it back onto the list. I think he's clearly the ace of the Big Japan Junior division. I think just generally whenever he's in there and is given a chance to do something big, he delivers. And so I was okay, I caught him originally but I do think he belongs on the list, and I'm happy because I think I was one of the few people that voted for him. So that way he at least got an honorable mention.
So number 29, I had Yu Owada.
Actually didn't make my list. That was also one of the last cuts.
I was but I was just I've liked him too much, and there's too much there, and he's got that crowd connection, so I'm just gonna stick him in.
No, that's fair. I have Crowchester at number 29, which I assume didn't make your list.
No.
I mean, I've been a big proponent of his for a while now. Just one of the best kind of junior kind of high-flying wrestlers, really flies under the radar at the moment in Europe. Just tremendous performances, great crowd connection as well that he has with the crowd in Berlin. And yeah, to me, definitely someone that I hope will break out at some point.
Number 28, I had Dan Tamura.
I also have him at number 28.
He had a very good year, and I'm not sure how much higher he can go, but I think there is room for him to go a little higher than he is.
Yeah, that was actually my assessment as well. I think he finally put things together in terms of in-ring. I think he's shown a lot of improvement there. But yeah, I also am not sure how much more there is for him, like how much higher he can go, which, kind of limited his positioning as well. But yeah, he definitely a lot of improvement over the year.
I do think there is room for him to go higher. I just don't think it's like as higher as like a lot of the other people that I'm about to.
No, definitely not. I don't think, like, even let's say he goes heavyweight, I don't think he ever would be like a Triple Crown champion.
No. Number 27, I have Osaka Pro's Ryuya Matsufusa.
Not on my list, but yeah.
He has really energized Osaka Pro from like a nostalgia company into like something that's doing its own thing, right? Like he's like 25 years old and everything like that. Because when the company started, it was like, okay, they're playing the hits. But now the company, that thanks to him, the company's like, is building a modern identity instead of just being a bunch of like 40-year-old like high flyers.
Yeah, that worked Osaka Pro like back in the early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah, that like right. He's like giving it its own like new modern identity.
And they might put up some shows on Wrestle Universe soon. They are, right? They're putting up some shows there as well. Okay, so then my number 27 was Ryuki Honda, who I assume you have higher.
Yes, I do. Number 26, Charlie Dempsey. I think he's really great in the ring. I don't know what else to say. I think that they're like doing stuff with him, although I think ultimately where he is, his style and more simplicity will like hurt him in the long run. But I still think there's things that can be done with him, at least in the shorter term.
And I mean, if there's anything positive coming out of this whole like weird as Noah WB relationship, then I hope it maybe gives like Dempsey like a run to Noah. Because I think,
for sure.
Well, from what we've seen of him in All Japan, I think he would just fit in extremely well.
I mean, I thought all of Dempsey's stuff in All Japan wasn't much, but I really enjoyed his match with Nakajima. People were just freaking out because of
not understanding how Japanese booking works. Yeah.
Yeah, and just the whole fact that he was.
Yeah.
So who do you have at 26?
I have Yuya Aoki. Didn't make your list, I guess. Yeah, I don't think so, right?
No, he did not. I toyed with it, but I don't know. Some of the Big Japan guys were a little. I do have one Big Japan wrestler on here, but
I also have another one, which I think it's the same one. But yeah, Yuya Aoki obviously spent pretty much the entire year. Kind of if we go from like last year's 30 to 30 under 30 to like this year's, like spent that entire time as like the Big Japan strong heavyweight champion. I think he had a pretty good title reign. I don't think he's really super revitalized Big Japan, unfortunately, but they've obviously shown that they have a lot of trust in him and like try to at least do something and like get someone fresh on top. And I think his title defenses have been pretty good. Like I don't think there was any like stuff, like obviously nothing was as good as like the title match he had with Okabayashi, but still like most of the matches were like really good. And just I think he's definitely kind of at least like stabilized Big Japan, like at not a very high level obviously, but at least they're like not bleeding like attendance as much as they were previously.
And then number 25 I have Obafemi.
I don't have that.
I mean, come on, look at him. He's clearly, I mean, he's still very raw, but he's clearly got potential star, but who knows if they capitalize on it. But he just like, I don't know, meets too many of my criteria as like someone if I had a promotion, he came up there, I'd push him and see what happened.
No. I mean, fair. Like for me, it was like basically I just haven't seen enough. That was another thing where I'm like, okay, I can't put this guy in here because I just haven't seen enough. But yeah, my number 25 is Endakara, which I think is the other Big Japan guy that you do have.
Yes, I have him a little higher.
Okay, and let's go to your 24.
Taishi Ozawa.
All like, unfortunately, like neither of them actually made like they're all like this. Like this. Okay, this if you have never done this list, like you think 30 seems like a lot, and then you kind of run out of space to like put people on that you actually kind of really wanted to put on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what are your thoughts on Ozawa?
I mean, I think he has like he's really coming into his own. I like his style. Seems kind of unique for a heavyweight. And I think he's been doing a great job in Europe so far. And I see big things for him. Because I feel like, if we were talking about, okay, so maybe we finally reached the point where Noah, we'll talk about this, will have to actually push all of these young guys. So I think he's in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely at least seems that way.
Yeah.
We'll see if that actually is true. But yeah, I mean, at least it seems that way. Okay,
Mhm.
at number 24, I have Atsuki Aoyagi.
Mm.
I assume you have a little higher.
No, I kept Atsuki off.
Oh, interesting.
I'm a little more stickler for the injuries.
Okay. Yeah, but he only got injured. Like, he still showed enough to me. But basically, as he is injured.
I played with it and I considered it, but I was he's injured. Like that was my rationale for taking him off when I was like, how am I going to get 30 people?
Yeah, fair enough. That was like the reason why, for example, like dropped someone like Jamie Hayter was like, yeah, she's great, but she literally did nothing because she was injured the entire time.
I'm going to be honest. I was shocked that Hayter got like I get it, but I don't know. I think being out almost a year now is a disqualifier, even though the potential is there and she could be the top woman in the company.
Yeah. No, but I put Atsuki on there because, well, he still showed me enough like before he got injured for me to put him on here. Not as much as in previous years. Like I think he slowed down his development a little bit, but he's still obviously going to be like a main component of All Japan's junior division. I think he's been eclipsed by someone else that will show up on this list a little later. But I think he's still like a tremendous talent. And again, he's only like 23. So still.
Yes.
I mean, it depends obviously with the injury if he will have to change up his style. But if not, I think
it's still better to destroy your knee at 22 or 23 than like 33,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's still young enough that I don't think he will change it up too much, but you never know.
I mean, he can learn from his brother because his brother is not a high flyer. So
no, well, I mean, the funny thing is, like, if you really think about it, him and Kento are like among the most careful, like top stars in Japan.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
In terms of like style that is not going to like kill them or break their necks.
Yeah. Right? Well, which as we might talk about later as well, there might be another top guy in All Japan that does not really seem to care about his neck, though.
No. Number 23, Mio Momono. I think she's one of the best pure baby faces in the business. Although I think there's someone else that I will also note later who I think is one of the best pure baby faces in the business. And she's doing more international dates. She's doing dates in the US and Spain. She's got that feud with Mayumi Ozaki. And maybe if she actually does finally beat Ozaki, I will put her higher. But that could be another one of those type Muto / Kiyomiya things where you think it's going to lead to something, but it doesn't. So I'm still waiting for the payoff there. But otherwise, she is an amazing talent.
Fair enough. I have Miyu Watanabe at 23.
I have her much higher.
You have a much higher. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. We'll shelve her for now.
So number 22 then. I have Mirai. I am unabashedly a Mirai super fan. I roll my eyes at all of the Mirai criticism that she got in Stardom. I love her style. And now I agree that she was floundering a bit in Stardom in the last few months. But since Marigold started, I thought she's been great. And she's been one of the most over wrestlers on all those Marigold shows. So I hope that she will have a big year.
I definitely thought about her long and hard. Again, it was one of those like really hard cuts. And yeah, she didn't make it, unfortunately. My number 22, I think, is another one we're going to talk about later because it's Rising Hayato.
Yeah, a little later, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then we go to 21.
Well, how could I not? And people now, okay, so it's Bozil. I don't care if you say she's overhyped. Very few people can have a first impression like so. She deserves her spot, and I think she'll grow into it. And I'm still on the Bozil train.
I mean, it's definitely one of those, like, it's one of those picks where either you're going to look like a complete idiot in 5 years or you're going to look like the smartest man on the planet.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah, I'm buying Bozilla stock, though, still.
It's a high-risk investment.
Look, she's like 21 years old, and like think about all of the people that took so long to figure out how to be monsters. Remember, it took Lance Archer a while to really become a monster, and of course, like Hikuleo, who still really hasn't
done it.
Yeah, so that's why I'm confident.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, she does have that. She definitely has that. She just has some other stuff she needs to figure out. Okay, my number 21 is Mike DiVecchio. I don't know if he made your list.
He did not make my list.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Mike D, again, one of the best guys in Europe at the moment.
I'm going to be honest with you, Paul. I cut Vecchio and Tihani were both cuts. They were
okay.
Very closely came onto the list.
Tihani is on my list, but he will come up a lot later.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mike D, just the best way I can describe his wrestling style is like Brian Cage, but good. Like same kind of like muscled up freak that does like insane high flying stuff. Like great guy just tossing people all over the ring, like good as like a base for like high flyers. He is getting a lot more looks. I feel like I think he's like a lot more people are like becoming aware of him, and definitely feels like he's like gonna go somewhere bigger than Europe, like whether that be the US or Japan.
With TNA?
I mean, yeah, but like doesn't seem like they're like bringing him over or anything.
I have to say, this guy's been wrestling 11 years. I don't know how he hasn't gotten a higher.
Yeah,
he's only 28, mind you.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Like he should be peaking, but I just don't understand why he hasn't gotten a big opportunity on the stage yet.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it has to come at some stage soon, because there's no way you can just like as much as I love the European scene, but like I think he's kind of outgrowing it at the moment, and he needs to go somewhere where he can like spread his wings a bit more.
Definitely. So number 20, I have Andrew Cara.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so we can talk about him now.
I mean, I think he's great. I think he's an amazing wrestler. I think he carried that match with Sekafuda, who's also great in his own right. But I just feel like his whole presentation, how well he is, how he carries himself. And I also think that unlike most of the other Big Japan guys, there's like a path for him to break out elsewhere, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think if someone will just give him a look, he could actually really be.
He definitely feels like one of those guys. Spot. Yeah. Like he could either make his way to like the US, but I could also easily see like Noah or New Japan pick him up for the junior division. I think he would fit in like amazingly there. He's also one of those guys that just instantly knows how to win over a crowd. Like I remember the first match he had here in Berlin. Like nobody knew him, and he literally like got the entire crowd on his side, but was doing crazy shit for like 30 seconds, like instantly got right off the gate in the match. So yeah, like he also has a really interesting wrestling style, I will say, right? Because he mixes like the high flying with like the kicks and all of that, and just extremely exciting. I think sky's the limit for him. And yeah, again, I think he's already like too big for Big Japan in a way.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. He felt too big for Big Japan after that May show.
Yeah.
Like that felt like a match where it's like, okay, he could leave the company and like he's done all these.
Yeah.
And then
he kind of has.
Yeah.
Okay. At number, yep.
Oh, sorry. You had to do 20, right?
Yeah. My number 20 is Azumi. Who did she make your list or not?
No. Again, someone that I, had to cut.
Yeah. No, I mean, what more can you say than the fact that like she's, I think, like a 13-year veteran at 21, or not? Is it that much? I don't know. I don't remember. But like, just one of the best young wrestlers in the world. Just insane speed. Just it's really hard to describe her. Like you just watch her and it's just to see all of the potential to be like. I mean, she arguably already is one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet, which at 21 is insane. So, just. Again, it's one of those cases as well where like I really love all of the stuff that she's been doing so far in Stardom. Like, because I'm not a regular Stardom watcher, but I kind of like do make sure that I do watch her stuff because it just is that good. And I feel like if she keeps on developing the way she does, like that she might become an all-time great.
And then number 19, I've got Ryuki Honda.
Okay, let's go into Honda.
So, I could have a few criticisms, but it's still mostly this right kind of look for a guy like him. And I think his work is great. You could put him in there with almost anyone except for EC3, and he's going to deliver something. And I don't know. I just think that his biggest foe right now is that the booking. Yeah, right? He seems to be sometimes the guy that they just use as the fall guy because they're more interested in like almost even maybe Ren Ayabe now. I wonder if Ren will surpass him soon. But I just think there's too much there, and he's coming into his own, and there's lots of possibilities. Hey, if someone gets injured or something in All Japan, he's like they might have to turn to him.
Oh yeah, he definitely feels like if something really bad happens to someone else, then Ryuki Honda is the guy that you go to kind of fill in, like as either like a stopgap or. But again, that's also like I don't know if that's a good position to be in, right? Because you'd rather like have
it's just
him
I
be
don't know.
someone.
For whatever reason, they see something in him, but I feel like obviously, Anzai obviously, but even I don't know. I could see Ren Ayabe surpassing him.
Yeah, I mean that was a notable thing for one of the shows is when Elpida came out, they all came out to Ren Ayabe's music.
Yep. So we'll see, but I am, and I didn't put Ayabe on my list because I don't think there's
same.
enough.
He just missed out. Yeah.
He could make next year if he gets trajectory.
Yeah.
I think he'll still be in 27 now.
Yeah, I think he's definitely still eligible.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on Honda.
So at number 19, I have Utami Hayashita. Oh, I can never remember how to actually pronounce her name.
Hayashishita.
Yeah, Hayashita, yeah.
I have her a little higher.
Okay, then I'll shelve her for now.
So number 18, Rising Hayato.
I know we're working off all of these.
He has, talking about people stepping up because someone else. Although
yes,
I was already thinking this guy could surpass Atsuki, and he's killing it as junior ace, and he's in the new top faction with the other young superstar ace. So his future is bright.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. He also took a massive step up in terms of like in-ring stuff as well.
Oh, huge step up.
Yeah. Because it was like a little bit inconsistent at times, but I think he's been consistently great now.
Yeah.
He's kind of coming to his own with his look as well. Like, because it's also unique, right? With like all of the tattoos and everything, because there aren't that many Japanese wrestlers that have like these kinds of tattoos.
Well, think about the Japanese wrestlers that do have tattoos.
Yes, they're also a very different type of person. Yeah.
A bodyguard, Zeus.
The bodyguard, yeah.
I can confirm that he's the most handsome Japanese.
Yes, definitely. Also, I can report from being in Japan, insanely over with the female crowd. He's great, and I do feel like he's eclipsed Atsuki, like both in position within the company. Because I was always saying, like, I still think Atsuki is the ace, but like, I don't know, after like these last couple of weeks, I think Hayato is the ace now of the junior division.
Yeah, for number 17, I've got.
We have my number 18.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. My number 18 is Yuya Uemura. Missed out on your list, I think.
Yeah, he was a cut.
Yeah. Uemura, I know there's like been a lot of like heavy criticism on him, but I do think he is still like very, very talented. Maybe he has a problem that he's like in a kind of, there's like a lot of focus right now on the New Japan, like young guys. I think he like just is under like an incredibly harsh spotlight. But I do think he's still incredibly talented. I think he still has it in him to become a top guy in New Japan. And I also think like his performances have been like overly criticized. I don't think he's been like a super blowaway, but he's been good. Like he's shown up generally when he had to. It's just also like for some reason New Japan decided to like put him in this weird holding pattern, like by having him feud with like the great Okan, who's just not good. And that obviously kind of hurt him a little bit, but I think otherwise, like he's still like a great talent that I think will do a lot of good things in the future.
I think he'll end up surpassing.
Yeah, I could definitely see that because Umino, I just don't know if his head is really. I have Umino not a lot higher because I think he did a lot of good things, but I would not be surprised if 5 years down the line there and like Yuma is on a higher position than Umino.
And then so number 17. I've got Konosuke Takeshita.
I have him a lot higher.
Oh, okay. Well, no, look, I still think he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, but he's got to win some matches.
Fair.
And
I have
who knows what he'll ascend to in EW. I think it's still very much.
I have Yuki Ueno at number 17.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I have him much higher.
Oh, you have a much higher. Okay, fair enough.
Much higher. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's fun. I actually. Okay, not to. Maybe let's spoil it. Where do you have him?
Ueno?
Yeah.
Number 4.
Because I have to catch that number 4.
Oh, that's funny.
Kind of had a feeling that was the case. Okay, then let's go to number 16.
Number 16, I have Takeshi Masada.
Ooh, yeah, somehow.
I think, and I think he's the guy, and I think he's going to be on top of 2 years or less. I really.
Fair enough. No, he was again one of my cuts. I do agree that he has a lot of potential, but yeah, just missed out. Okay, then my number 16 was Mio Yamashita.
You know, I don't have Yamashita on this list. And
Really?
She was cut. Yeah.
I'm surprised. I would have thought she would have made your list.
I thought about it.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Okay.
Look, I have a Tokyo Joshi wrestler very high, but I am not completely enthralled with what he's doing right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so Yamashita to me, like she's like right now one of my favorite like Joshi wrestlers. Like probably she is my favorite. I'll have to think about that. But I just think like I just love her in-ring style. Like whenever she's in a big match, I do make sure to like go, like even if I don't follow Tokyo Joshi Pro super regularly at the moment, but whenever she's put in like a big position, like I do go out of my way to like watch her matches at least. And yeah, she's kind of I feel like she's kind of getting a bit close to like plateauing right now. But I think she's still a great wrestler, and that's why I'm definitely going to put her on my list.
Number 15, I have Micah.
Yeah, didn't make my list.
I think that she really stepped up when, she was needed or someone lost their smile or however you want to think about that. And I would say that she has made a name for herself. I would say that Stardom's booking I don't know, I haven't been particularly impressed with it since like the second half of last year. But I think she deserves, and right now, her reign maybe isn't as good as some of the other World of Stardom reigns the past couple of years. But I really think highly of her, and I think that she's done well for herself. I just hope that Stardom can follow through with it, make her a long-term top star.
Fair enough. At number 15, I have Titus Alexander.
That's funny because I have him at number 14.
Okay, then we can just talk about him now.
Yeah. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, he's great. He's awesome. Yeah. He's been, for the past couple of years, making a name for himself in like West Coast Pro and indies on the West Coast. Somewhat surprised that no one else has snapped him up, just given how fast people on the indies that show any sort of promise do. But he's got to he's been ruling it in Noah. He's got that sort of Kenta Kobashi endorsement. And he's going to be in the N1. We'll just say it now. And he's just going to, I think, absolutely kill it.
Yeah, for sure. I actually would be shocked if he hadn't gotten offers from WWE and AEW already. But I feel like he might be one of those guys that is like smart enough to know that actually if he signs right now, right, that's not maximizing your value. Like maximizing your value is like becoming a bigger star in Japan, like getting all of that accolades under your belt, and then you go to one of the two big companies when you're already a made name, because that means they're going to push you right out of the gate rather than you having to like work your way up from the bottom. So yeah, and also like literally every like veteran that ever comes across him like seems to like fall in love with him, which that just instantly tells you like this guy knows what's up. And he just also has that like natural aura where like you just see that guy like step into like a ring and he just comes across different. Yeah. Talk about sky's the limit, like this guy really is the absolute limit here.
And he also does come across the guy that was like, I'll spend like a couple years too, right?
I mean, he also seems like the kind of like wrestling, like he's the kind of like guy that has that natural athleticism and is also a massive wrestling nerd where he's just like, no, I'm gonna like make my name here first and then make all of the money later in the US.
Yeah. And so who's your other number 14 then?
My number 14 is Daniel Garcia.
Okay.
Yeah, so Garcia to me did take a little bit of a step back overall. I think I had him higher last year. But he's still like tremendously talented. I mean, if we're talking about a guy that probably would need like a Japan one, I think Daniel Garcia actually would benefit from that. I think like he's doing stuff in AEW and everything. It seems like they're actually about to maybe give him a push, although that's never quite sure with the way AEW works. But like, if there wouldn't be, it wouldn't be the worst idea to just send Daniel Garcia basically on like an excursion to Japan for like a year or two to like allow him to grow a bit further. But I think regardless, like, his time will come eventually.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I see the potential. I'm not sure that he has absolute top guy, but a lot of people seem. I just don't think he has the charisma for.
That depends. No? Yeah, that is definitely one of his drawbacks. But I feel like I think there's still enough time. Like, sometimes some guys find their charisma a little bit later.
Sure, absolutely.
Once they find like that, like, I don't think he's found that character yet that really allows him to like shine.
Right. Or he had the stupid dance.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't helping. That's some like fucking 2010s WWE bullshit that they did there.
Well, and the thing is, if he were to go, he'd be put in NXT. Like,
Yeah, no. Like, going to WWE definitely wouldn't be the right step for him. Again, I think similar to Titus Alexander, like, if he goes somewhere, he should go to Japan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then. Number 13, I have Utami Hayashishita. I still think she's one of the best wrestlers in her generation. And I think that she is going to... Well, she is going to be the ace of Mari Gold once Julia leaves. So that's going to be big things. She's not even... Yeah, she turns 26 in September, which is crazy good. And... she's gonna be carrying a promotion very soon, so we'll see if that. Hey, maybe I'll come back here and leave her off my list if she absolutely flatters of Mari Gold. But I mean, I liked her World of Stardom run a lot, even if they did after she lost it. She did, I thought, flounder a bit, but here's her chance to regain something.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the pressure's on for her now. Like, it really is like sink or swim time for her. Yeah, I think it's also coming up a lot faster, right? Because like of Julia's injury and all of that. So yeah, she's gonna have to carry Mari Gold, and we'll see if she's able to. But if she is, then yeah, she's gonna be a big star. Okay, my number 13. Talk about like someone stepping into like big shoes. I have Atlantis Jr. Him and another guy that will come up very soon are kind of the two people that have really like helped like revitalize CMLL. Recently, like I would say, like, actually originally when Atlantis Jr. started out, I think he was a little bit shaky, which is, to be fair, understandable given like the kind of shoes that he has to fill here with Atlantis. But like once he kind of started to figure things out, like he became really good, really, really fast. And I think he still has a lot of room to grow, and he will eventually like have like he will collect a lot of masks in like anniversario shows in the future.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I don't have any luchadors on my list, and I don't watch enough lucha to do that. I mean, I should. I kind of want to. I just don't have time to do it.
I have one more, and spoiler, he's the next.
So we go to number 12. Ryohei Oiwa is my.
I have him higher.
I think he's better than at this point. I think he's better than Umino or Umura. I'm not going to say that's going to be permanently the case. I don't think he obviously doesn't have Tsuji present, but I mean, he's like the second best of those New Japan young guys.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
No, I have at number 12, I have Mascara Dorada. The other guy that really helped revitalize CMLL. Just tremendous high flyer. I mean, it was funny that he kind of started out as like Mascara Dorada Jr. and then the original Mascara Dorada came in and just shit the bed so badly that they like just told him to like kick rocks, and also just made like this guy just like a Mascara Dorada like without the junior. Like, it's very funny. Yeah, just again another great high flyer. Really just helped. Because CMLL for a while that was really, really dire. Just like the same guys and the same matches, just no booking, no sense at all. And then like Mascara Dorada came in and just, among other things, really helped kind of turn that promotion around. And that actually like the biggest possible like match they could build up right now, or they could build up for like a couple of years down the line, would be Mascara Dorada versus Atlantis Jr. in an Apuestas match. Like that would just sell out like Arena Mexico absurdly fast.
All right. So number 11, Paul. I had to, and some of this was a bit of a troll pick, but I had to stand my ground on this. I got Logan Paul at number 11.
Oh God.
I look. I don't like I do not agree with the discourse that you can't hype him up because he's a part timer or rehearses his stuff. That has always been going on in wrestling.
I mean, yeah, that's a bad argument because like Macho Man Randy Savage rehearsed his matches, like, you know.
Also DDP.
Yeah, DDP as well.
And lots of other guys do. From what I've heard, the All Japan guys in the 90s did that. They planned out a lot of that stuff. They didn't call it in there like that. So that's an faulty argument. Part-time, I don't buy that either. I mean, he's a draw. He's got charisma. He's got incredible talent for someone in the number of matches he's been in. So I just expect he's going to be a bigger star than he already is. That's where I'm putting him.
Fair enough.
And that's the last WWE related person.
Fair enough. So I have Logan Paul, but like his like, well, at least as far as I know, his like character alignment is good instead of evil. I went with Peter Tehani at number 11. That he is my favorite European wrestler at the moment. He has all of the potential in the world. He, like, my best comparison I have for him, like, he really reminds me of a young Will Ospreay. Like, he has that same kind of swagger, like a very similar in-ring style as well. I think he's actually a little bit better put together than like early years Ospreay. Again, he's one of those guys that is really outgrowing the European scene at the moment. I think he can still stick around maybe like a little bit longer, but again, one of those guys, I think he could probably already go to the US, but I think similarly to like a Titus Alexander or like a Jack Morris or like guys, he should follow like those guys' path. Like actually, yeah, the Ospreay path as well, where he goes to Japan now, really makes his name there, and then when he's like 32 or whatever, he can go to the US and make all of the money there, but he should like build his repertoire first.
Yeah, all good points. And like I said, I seriously had Tehani in an earlier draft, but I cut him. But yeah, definitely like the sky's the limit for him. Number 10, I've got Gabe Kidd.
I actually have him slightly higher.
He's a madman, if you didn't know that. But yeah, look, I sort of agree with some of the criticisms. Like he does try too hard, but there's also just way too much potential there for me to over, right? It's like all on display. Like okay, so he's people saying he does too much, which he does, but that's also like why he like shows like he has so much potential because he can stuff. I think in the next year he's gonna just continue to grow.
Oh, fair enough. I have Shota Umino at number 10.
Okay.
Guess he didn't make your list, or
nope.
Do you have him?
Nope. No, he did not. So give the Umino pitch.
I can understand some of the criticisms of Umino because I do think there might be like some questions for like motivation and all of that at times. But I do think like just what he's shown over like the last year was just tremendous. Like I loved this match with Ospreay. I thought that was like one of the best matches of 2023. Like that was really a breakout for him. I thought he did really well in the G1 as much as he could. I actually kind of enjoyed the feud he had with Evil and Narita. I think there actually was some, like as much as I enjoyed those as much as you can, like by the standards of this like House of Torture matches. I think he's a tremendous baby face. Like he's showing like really good connection with the crowd. He seems to be really over with like kids in Japan. I think that's like an important market that New Japan doesn't really hit all that much with like other people. He somehow actually managed to kind of synthesize, like, because one of my early criticisms was like him not really like have like that. To me, it didn't really work that he is both Tanahashi and Jon Moxley, and he's actually kind of figured out a way to make that work, which I really didn't think he was going to be able to. The fear obviously is that like he might be like a little bit US brained as well. Might be leaving for that at some point. But I do think if he can keep his focus, I do think he could be the ace of New Japan. But it obviously kind of somewhat depends on him kind of keeping his wits about him, or maturing a lot more, which is up in the air always for wrestlers. But if he can do that, then I do think he could be like the tippy top guy.
Okay. So number 9, I have Calvin, and
No, didn't make no sense.
I did a Deadlock Pro catch up.
That explains it.
And he is so good as champion. I also have to say, and it's on Wrestle Universe. You got to go watch it. The show that has Roddy and Roderick Strong versus Fumnor Abe, and the main event of that show is Kevin Koo versus Calvin Tankman. And I think I like that match more than Abe versus Strong. Just a great match. And then I gone in and watched the other stuff. Tankman has just awesome as champion. He's become a great promo. He's got a match, I think July 15th in Chicago against Alex Shelley. I'm very much looking forward to that. Actually that match just happened this weekend or a couple weeks ago. I thought it was in July. I'm wrong. I got to see that match. I hope it pops up on Wrestle. I don't know if it'll pop up because is anyone from Japan on that show?
I mean, we don't really know.
Miyuki Takase is in the semi-main.
See, that's enough.
So that's it. But that's it. So I just think, and he's going to age out in December. He'll be 31.
Wait, but no, it's if you already turned.
Sorry, he'll be 30.
Yeah.
He'll be 30.
Oh, okay, because I was like, no, if you hit 30, you're out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's 29 right now.
Oh, okay.
So I just think he has become. I mean, he's one of the best all-around performers if you really think about it. Carries himself like a champion. Great promo, great matches. So I'm just really impressed, taken aback, and become one of my favorites.
No, fair enough. I just didn't watch enough US Indies over the last year to really justify putting anyone on. But yeah, I've heard great things about Tankman. I do intend to go back and catch up on Deadlock as well, because to me them and West Coast Pro generally are considered the two best booked US Indies as well. So I do want to get an eye on some people that might be popping up in Japan soon as well. So, but my number 9 was Mochizuki Jr. So turns out Masaki Mochizuki just kind of put himself into a cloning chamber essentially, and just popped out a son that is just as good as him. I finally saw him live as well in March when I went to WXW. Just tremendous stuff from him there all around. Just also one of those super rookie guys. He just made his debut, just hit the ground running, and hasn't looked back since then, and still keeps developing as well, which is kind of nuts because he was already great when he started. Kind of scary how good he's it's kind of scary to think how good he potentially could become, and definitely a guy that is going to be at the top of Dragon Gate sooner rather than later.
And for number 8, I have Leon Slater. I think a lot of people get compared to Ospreay, but to me he's the most Ospreay-ish of them all. He's 19, and he's already got his TNA contract, and I just think that in terms of just absolute peak potential, he's up there.
Fair enough. No, he was also one of those guys I thought about, but ultimately didn't put on. But I can definitely see it. How if you're really into him, you're going to be really high on him.
I just think his ceiling is so high.
Yeah. No, definitely. He's definitely that's a guy I could definitely see myself putting on this list next year. Depends on what he does. Yeah. My number 8.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of that is based more off of his Rev Pro and British indie work than it is with his TNA run. Although he's had a couple good TNA matches. He he had an okay match with Mustafa Ali. He had a decent match with Gresham on an episode of Explosion. But his best stuff has been outside of TNA.
I mean, that's TNA's general problem.
Yeah.
My number 8 is Gabe Kidd. You kind of touched on some of his points. I generally find that he tries too hard. I think that's overblown. For some reason now it's I don't know, for some reason it's only for him it's considered bad that he shows effort. I don't know. I think sometimes.
Well, Spoiler alert, like what did you think of the brainbuster to G-Man?
I like that one.
Okay.
I thought that was good. Like I thought that that got him heat. Like he got booed for that. Like, and G-Man is a former worker, so he knows how to bump.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
fine. So like, and it's exactly that, like he has that instinct. So he's like, okay, I need to get the crowd going somehow because the crowd was a little bit sleepy in the Yokohama show. And he knew exactly how to do that. And he's just an absolute madman. Like I think he has great like aura and everything. Like just the look, like it's in the eyes, right? You just look in the eyes and like he's just nuts. And he's just willing to do whatever it takes to win a match. I think like his in-ring potential is like through the roof. Like he's really putting everything together right now. Like because everybody, like me included, I was like very certain that like Zack Sabre Jr. is gonna be like the next like big top foreigner in New Japan. But I feel like Gabe Kidd is just like sprinting up, and it might just be sprinting right past him.
Oh yeah, for sure. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for Gabe again, I don't know. I just liked everything that he's done. Like I just don't get why he gets criticized for like experimenting and trying different things. Like I do think the criticisms that he gets are like way overblown, to be quite honest. Like I think he shows intent. Like people always complain there aren't enough people that like show intensity or that are like just like hard-nosed brawlers, and like Gabe Kidd does exactly that. Like he's just in there, he just brawls with everybody, just like is willing to like take some crazy bumps and everything, like do stuff that gets him like proper heel heat as well. Like that isn't just like him doing like, I don't know, pull the ref out and do like silly shit. Like he does, like he feels legit dangerous when he gets heel heat. So yeah, I don't know. I think he's tremendous, and he's going to be the top 4 in New Japan.
Well put. So we go to number 7. I've got Mao.
That's one of those that I like. When I looked at my list, I later realized it's like, oh shit, I didn't put Mao on. Like it was him and Los Golpeadores are like. Well, later I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we both forgot to put them on.
But here's the thing: you can't put on tag teams. So
yeah, you would have had to rank them one after the other.
Yeah, that's too much space being taken.
Yeah.
Maybe I would definitely put him in the running for like best tag team of the year.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mao. I think Mao. Like I remember when Mao was not so good, and now he's great, and it just feels like he's on the cusp of big things. I'm not sure if he's going to win the KOD title at Peter Pan, and I'm not sure that I would do that. But soon he's going to, like within the next year, he should be probably being like sort of like one of the absolute top guys in DDT.
Mhm.
I've just been so impressed with his work too.
Yeah. No, I do think as well. Like I fully agree on that. Like he's going to be a champion in DDT. It's really just a question of when, not if. Whereas for a while there with Mao, he felt like a guy on the cusp of like either going like the way he has gone now, where he's going to be a top guy, or like a guy that just never put it all together. And yeah, I'm happy that he actually fell onto the side of becoming a top guy. Okay. At number 7, I have Ryohei Oiwa. You already touched on him a little bit as well, but yeah, I to me, he's currently the guy that is most likely. There's a couple of guys, right, that New Japan has that could become the next ace. To me, Oiwa is the clubhouse leader for that. Just absolutely insane growth that he's shown over the last year. Just kind of coming into Noah as kind of like a meek, like almost like a meek guy that very much was like a little bit overshadowed by Kaito. And then slowly but surely just like working his way up, showing his confidence a lot more. Like you could literally see it grow from match to match, also becoming a lot better in terms of in-ring work and everything. And I am very much looking forward to like the feud that him and Kaito are like going to have. Like whatever form that will take, whether or not that is just like an N1 match or if they will actually feud over the title. And then he will go to New Japan and he will definitely do big things. Like even if he's not going to be like the top ace, I feel like at worst he's going to be in a position like Naito was to Okada.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, I'm just so high on him. Like he would be the Naito to Tsuji's Okada.
That's what I mean. It's the worst case scenario. It could also very well be that he ends up being the Okada and Tsuji ends up the Naito.
That's very true too. Okay, so number 6, I have Yuma Aoyagi.
I have him higher than that.
Okay. He's taken a bit of a backseat this year, but he had obviously that title reign that did business last year. Still one of the best wrestlers in the world, if you ask me. And well, I don't know, Paul. Like, we'll see what they do with him.
Yeah, that's the big question.
Yeah. I still think he should end that Anzai reign.
Yeah, I like especially now that it seems that reign goes a bit longer. Okay, at number 6, I have.
Or maybe
Shun
someone
Sky-
else will be ending the reign.
Oh God, yeah, we'll get into that one. That's definitely someone that is not gonna make a 30 on the 30 list, or wouldn't have made a 30 on the 30 list for a long time.
Yes.
He would have when he was still on the 30, but not now.
Yep.
Okay, but at number 6, I have Shun Skywalker. Just, to me, one of the best heels in the business. Just an absolute asshole, just absolutely unhinged, just the best worker in Dragon Gate right now. Or, like, on either side, whether it be face or heel. Like, to me, he's just the best guy that they have right now, and they are going to go with him as champion eventually, like, probably relatively soon, because there's a lot of, like, interesting matchups that he's built by just literally antagonizing the entire roster. Tremendous look as well. Like, just he's the complete package. It's crazy that he's still so young, and yeah, when he eventually turns face again, he's going to be like the ace of Dragon Gate as well. And it's like, it will take a lot to build that up, but like, there's a lot of like, you have an amazing heel run for him coming up, and then eventually at some point, like 2-3 years down the line, you can do a big babyface turn with him. And there's so many storylines that can come out of that. Just, yeah, I'm excited for what's to come for Shun Skywalker.
And then number 5, I've got Miyu Watanabe.
Interesting.
I think she's the best pure baby face in the business.
Mm-hmm.
I think that her reign is the best, has been great, and the best thing in Tokyo Joshi. And I just think that she is awesome. And, you know, I don't know. Like, I almost feel like at a certain point, TJPW might be holding her down.
Yeah, should go to a bigger
Let's be
promotion.
honest. Yeah.
I mean, there is another promotion on Wrestle Universe, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, say you could
But then
say that
again,
about
yeah, you don't want to
Yamashita as
risk
well.
that relationship by like poaching people directly from home, essentially.
No, but I would hope that if they, well, here the thing is, Tokyo Joshi is notoriously isolationist. So, but if
Yeah.
they cross over, I would hope it's like her and Yamashita doing the crossover,
Yeah, for sure.
and like Rika Tetsu that. So, yeah, I mean, she's amazing.
For sure. At number 5, I have Fuminori Abe.
Okay.
Who didn't make your list? Oh, yeah, right. You said,
No.
yeah, you did say that you didn't make your list at all. Yeah, we talked about that already. Yeah, no, I mean, to me, one of my absolute favorite wrestlers on the entire planet. I just love his in-ring style. I love watching him wherever he is. Like, he just really literally bounces like all over the planet, and wherever he goes, like, he just delivers every single time. Yeah, I agree with you that he's probably kind of like is in the role that he's going to be for the rest of his career. But like, the body of work is just so insanely good that to me, like, he still warrants like inclusion on a list like this, because yeah, he is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. So that alone should get him onto a list like this.
Number 4, Yuki Ueno. Just awesome matches. He like feels like an ace, which isn't necessarily something I would have said even just a couple of years ago. But I mean, he's really helped turn DDT around, and he's having like great matches with Shanshiro Takagi.
Yeah.
So he can do everything.
Do you want a crazy stat?
Yeah.
Ueno only made his debut only 6 months before Uemura did.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Like, think about what Ueno has done in his career so far, and what like Yuya Uemura has done so far in his career.
Yep, for sure.
So yeah, no,
That's
I love
funny.
Ueno as well. Like, I think he's having a good title reign as well. So, but my number 4 was Konosuke Takeshita. Again, just an absolute top. I mean, he literally has been a top guy since he made his debut. Like, DDT literally made an entire sub promotion just so they could push Takeshita as the ace of that sub promotion, and then that sub promotion folded once he graduated from it, and then immediately went to the top of DDT, and then went over to the US. Like, his push there is inconsistent, but that's kind of basically everybody that isn't named MJF. in that promotion. So I can't really fault him for that too much. But like whenever he's put in a big position, like he just delivers tremendous matches. Like he's still improving as an in-ring guy as well, which is kind of nuts. He's obviously kind of doing a lot of character work right now, which I think is really good and necessary for him. And I mean, he's gonna be in the G1 as well. Like I think he's going to do like a lot of like really good stuff. Like he's the guy I'm probably looking forward to the most, because that's just like an insane, like just a lot of fresh matchups for him, and I'm just super excited to see like what he's actually going to do in that tournament. And also interesting to see what will win out. New Japan's tradition of just dunking on DDT guys that go into the tournaments, or New Japan's just desire to bow down to AEW and just push their guys over their own guys. So we'll see what wins out there, since he has a dual contract.
Number 3, Sari. She's like one of the best wrestlers in the world this year. It's been an incredible year. Her work has been amazing. The only thing that might hamper her future is her freelance status. But there's just so much other great work there. I mean, she's a bit of a draw too, as much as one is a draw on Joshi these days. It'd be interesting to see what that Mari Gold Sumo Hall show does and everything. So yeah, I just think just incredible.
Can you imagine that WWE found nothing to do for this woman? Like, it's insane. Like, genuinely insane. Yeah. Like one of their biggest misses ever, probably.
Oh, really? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, crazy. My number 3, Yuma Aoyagi. You will say, but like, for example, like the way I looked at it, like basically since last we did, what has this person done since we last did this list? And like Yuma, like as the Triple Crown champion, like just had a tremendous first reign. Like they booked that one perfectly. He drew as well, which is very encouraging. Like he had great matches up and down. It's been a little bit, I agree that he's been a little bit on the back burner since then, but it feels like now they're kind of spinning him back up to go back to the top of the promotion. And I agree. I do think he's going to be and should be the guy that ends the Yuma Anzai reign, because Anzai needs someone that like will be like the guy that he just has to overcome. Because obviously it's not Kento, because he already beat Kento. It's not going to be Sawama. He's already beaten Sawama. So Yuma is just like the guy that is still there, that is like basically the final boss for Yuma Anzai to like finally ascend to like complete A status of the promotion. And and again, Yuma still tremendously talented, still kind of crazy how young he still is. Like he's still going to be eligible, I think, for like 3 more years on this list. Another guy that is just going to be is already a top guy and is continued to going to be a top guy as well. And I do think our 1 and 2 are actually the same.
Yes, so let's get. Okay, so number 2, Kaito Kiyomiya.
Yeah, same.
He was a bit in the wilderness after the, but he's stepped it up in 2024. And I totally admit that I thought that maybe they should have kept trying to rebuild him a little longer before putting the title back on him. But in some ways, I'm actually impressed by their gutsiness, because sometimes it feels like, well, how much do they really care about him? But I don't know. It kind of feels like they're going whole hog with him finally.
Yeah, finally.
Right?
I mean, it really helps that they gave him a faction, right?
Yes.
Because like before, like it was very much like he almost felt like just this guy that was on the roster, and he was pushed, and it was clear to everybody that he was going to be the top guy. But he felt just weirdly just by himself in like the Kaito-verse in a weird way, where he felt a bit disconnected. Whereas now that he has like a faction and like people he can regularly team with, like it really helps feel him like as like a leader, because he's also the clear leader of the faction and everything. And I do think the new look helps as well, like no longer being dressed as like a parrot or like a Venice like carnival performer. So that's great. And I mean, what was never in doubt is the in-ring. Like Kaito Kiyomiya, like since the moment he made his debut, like he is literally one of the most gifted, like naturally gifted wrestlers I have ever seen.
Absolutely.
Just insane levels of just like in-ring awareness and just like natural talent that is just unmatched. And yeah, he delivers literally every single time he goes in there and has a big match. just, yeah. I mean, he has had some of my favorite matches so far this year. Like his title match with Wagner was tremendous. I really loved like the match with Gabe Kidd and like everything else he's done. Like I love the tag team with Yuma as well. Yeah. So no, just tremendous wrestler. Is really like at the top of his game now, and I hope it will eventually reflect in business for Noah, because it would just be a shame if, I don't know if it just.
Well, here's the thing: it's not so much reflecting.
No, not right now, but I hope it will eventually, because it would be a shame if,
Well, we'll get to it later, but and then number one. I mean, who else were we gonna vote for?
Yuma Anzai, obviously.
Exactly. I don't even know what to say because we've already said everything.
Yeah, we've brought him up multiple times while working our way up the list, which should tell you everything already.
And I mean, I'm almost shocked at how well that they thing, right? Because it's like, okay, well, the win was obviously shaky.
Yeah.
But everything since then has been almost perfect.
Yeah. No, they just were like batting at like 100 with him since he won the title. Just the Champion Carnival was booked perfectly. Like the title matches have been booked perfectly so far. Like giving him his own faction is exactly the right move that you should do with him right now. Like even like stuff like the gear that they gave him, right? Like, because it's like the perfect look for him. The one criticism I have so far is the finisher that they gave him, but I will talk about that later as well. But otherwise, like it's insane. Like a guy, again, this is a guy that is less than 2 years in, and he's the Triple Crown champion, and it does not feel out of place at all. It feels like he belongs there. It feels like he belongs at the top of the promotion, and it's very obvious why literally everybody in Japan wanted this guy. Why like Yuji Nagata was like literally like still wanting to work with him even after he turned him down to go into the New Japan dojo. Just absolutely insanely talented.
So that is our 30 under 30 ballots. And you can see on voicesofwrestling.com to see where everything ends up going. Oh, I'm relatively confident on Kiyomiya and Anzai because I saw some other ballots.
Yeah, I think Anzai is definitely making the top 15.
Oh,
yes, he has to, because he hasn't popped up on the list so far, so he has to be in there. Yeah.
Do you think he makes the top 10? Because we've got both him in first place. I've seen him in the top 10 of a couple other people.
I think he has a chance to, because his last year has just been insane. So, and a lot of people have realized that as well, that he is just one like to us obviously the biggest talent, but I think even other people that aren't as high on him are like still admitting that he is like one of the biggest talents on the planet. Yeah,
for sure, absolutely. Alrighty then, we go. Well, Paul, so we got a lot to cover, and we're almost 15 minutes in. So let's blow through these next couple of things.
Yeah,
Paul, we got to talk about GLEAT.
Yes.
Nakajima is working that show on July 1st, and he's facing Takanori Ito in a decision match for the Ledet UWF title. And he also posted a new video of him training, leaving his like weird like meth lab shack and training in the woods, Rocky IV style sort of. What do you think of this?
It's very weird, right? Like it's so I guess maybe like, I mean, we were speculating, right? Like if there was a fallout.
Do you think he's absolutely done with All Japan now?
I if he wins this title, yeah.
I don't think he's.
I don't see him losing.
No.
Like that's the thing. Like it really seems like that whole thing about them like getting the cease and desist from the Inoki family probably destroyed a lot of goodwill that he had with the promotion.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it is a shoot that he is blacklisted, but yeah, like I mean, why like if he was just here for like a quick shot, right? Like why put him in a title match? That he could have just done like some other like singles match or whatever.
Although this UWF title is a little different than, but you know,
the G-Rex, yeah.
We'll see. I don't know.
It is definitely incredibly weird, and also him main eventing over the G-Rex title and Kaz Hayashi's retirement match is interesting as well.
Well, what else they got?
I mean, technically they were building this entire show around Kaz Hayashi's retirement, and then Nakajima comes in late and takes the main event.
Yeah. So also on the show, we got Ryuichi Kawakami's final great match here.
Yeah.
So it's him and Kazma and Sakamoto and Quiet Storm versus Kazuyuki Fujita, Kendo Kashin, and Gemelas.
Whoever that is.
Paul, where's he going?
I think he might be going to All Japan.
I thought he might be the X, but he wasn't the
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
But he could still be NX.
Yeah. Because there's still Mr. B, right?
Oh yeah. There is still Mr. Yeah, there's still like the tournament in September. So yeah, you can't rule that out. He'd be a good fit in All Japan.
Yeah, that's the thing, because he's just a perfect fit. Like he's a big, he's a big hefty guy. Like he fits right in like to All Japan.
Yeah. Suwama could probably use a better tag team partner.
Hideki.
Who knows how long Hideki's going to be around?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like now that he's done with his title match, I wouldn't be shocked if
he's got a couple more dates, but
yeah.
I
mean, maybe he just goes. Like it would be very funny if he just goes back to Noah. He's just like, okay, I'm done with All Japan now. I'm back to Noah, and he's like in the N1.
Yeah, that would. Oh, that's very possible too. What else we got here? Oh, Al Lindemann versus Shinya Aoki under UWF rule. We've got the Great and Triple A Alliance commemoration match, which is Octagon Jun and Soma Watanabe versus SBK and Takuma.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Also, hey, look, I think this could be a great match, but I'm also afraid that's going to be like 2 minutes long in a squash.
Yes.
That's exactly what it's special match. Yu Iizuka versus Josh Barnett. But if Barnett was willing to give the kid a little shine, it could be a great match.
It's Barnett though. I don't know if he's willing to do that.
Yeah, and then for the G Infinity title, which is also Kaz Hayashi's retirement, Kaz and Shima versus Kaito Ishizuchi. And then for the G-Rex title, Hayato Tamura versus Yuki Ino, which, hey, be good.
You think they're going to put the belt on Ino?
No.
I think there is a chance. Like, it is still great.
Yeah, And then Nakajima versus Ito. And then...
I mean, all weirdness aside, that's going to be a great match, though.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So the All Japan relationship seems to be dead, which we talked about.
Definitely. The whole thing is.
But if you're going to Tokyo Dome City Hall without anyone on All Japan compared to, and so they're working with DD. This is great versus Ibushi Pro Wrestling is Shuji Shikawa, Jun Tansho, Michiko, Junji, and Joe Lando versus Riki Itaka, Yukimitsu Takahashi, Yumehiro Imanari, and Kaiji Tomato and Tyson.
Sure. I mean, when is Ibushi working like that 5-minute exhibition match?
Oh, maybe that is a show. That's an old lineup that didn't have the Nakajima. Let me see here, but let's while we do that, Paul, let's move on to Josh Barnett's Bloodsport Bushido. Paul, I have 3 things to say about this show.
Yep.
For one, it was a great show. Number 2, it was a debacle in drawing.
I agree.
Number 3, it was a debacle in drawing.
Yes. Oh my God. I can't
stress that enough.
There were so few people there.
Paul, was there 1,000 people?
I don't think so. There was a lot of empty space on the floor even, and whenever you looked into the boxes, there was nobody there.
That second floor,
rough.
I mean,
that was cavernous.
There might have been 1,000 people there, but that's it.
Barely, yeah. It definitely drew worse than that Noah junior sumo hall that they did a few years ago.
And Paul, the Ibushi 5-minute 20th anniversary exhibition.
Okay. I mean, it can only be better than a Marufuji match, right?
Yeah.
I don't see how it could be worse.
Paul, I don't know if we want to go through 10 matches.
No,
10 short matches.
We're already,
except for the main event. Paul, what was your favorite match of this?
If I look at, I would say it was the main event, to be honest. Because just of Moxley just bleeding like a madman, and
from
I do think it went a little bit long.
Yeah.
With the 20 minutes, but then when they restarted it, and Moxley just immediately just went to town on Barnett and just knocked him out in under 2 minutes after that.
Cool. My favorite match might be Eric Hammer versus Takuya Nomura.
No, that was cool as well, yeah.
But look, I would say every match on the show was good, and even Shrek versus Rampage.
I was shocked. I don't think it was a great match, but it was shockingly good. It was definitely like Rampage's best wrestling match ever.
Rampage has only had 2 wrestling matches.
Yes, it was still.
Which I thought maybe he was in Hustle or something, but no, he did it.
Yeah.
Now I'll give this. Rampage was in better shape than I thought he'd be. Although his punches look.
Yeah.
but it had the MMA fighter trying to hold his punches vibes. His stomps look.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
look,
that literally was the finish as well. So
yeah. All credit though. That was all Shrek carrying that match, I thought.
yes. I mean, he is really good at he's really, really bad at normal wrestling, but he's really good at this shoot style stuff.
Yeah. Like that was the greatest performance he's ever had in a worked match.
No. No, but that's only because I was there live for the match he had against Hikaru Sato at the Hard Hit show, like the day after Aoki died, and both basically got over their grief by beating the shit out of each other.
Okay, fair enough.
Which, I mean, very special circumstances.
Yeah, I've never seen that match, but I'm just going by.
No, it's like literally like the moment the match ended, Shrek just started bawling his eyes out.
I thought Konami versus Maya Fukuda was good, even though Konami looked like she was completely eating up Fukuda. But then
it's most of Fukuda's matches, really.
Yeah, Fukuda made these like comebacks that actually got the crowd into it and everything. So I thought it actually turned out well. And also, she's leaving great.
Yeah, I think she's just done. Like, maybe she just wants to do like actual MMA because I don't know. Who's gonna allow her to do like? She only wants to do shoot style. Like, who's gonna allow her to do that?
Well, maybe Rossi just convinced her.
Maybe he just wrote. Well, I mean, it's Rossi, but maybe he wrote a like big enough check, not a big check, but a big enough check to convince her.
She'll be able to sell more merch too doing that than she would in Great.
Yeah.
Or Stardom. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't I don't think she's going back. That's where she started, or one of those actress thing related things. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love the finish. Oh, we got to talk about the finish of Hideki Suzuki versus Hikaru Sato. That was the most incredible transition of a guillotine into an STF.
Oh, yeah, and the instant tap out as well. That was tremendous.
And then even Hideki versus Eric Hammer was pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that one I felt went a little bit long, but it felt longer than it actually was.
Yeah. Sakuraba versus Morella was pretty good. It might have gone a little long too, but I thought the second half of that match was really good once Sakuraba decided to wake up because he was a little lifeless the first 5 minutes. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, and Fuminori Abe versus Yu Iizuka. Oh,
that was my second favorite match. I love that one.
I mean, everything on this show. And then, the only match we haven't talked about, Funaki versus Davey Boy Smith.
No, we also haven't talked about Suzuki versus Thatcher as well.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Okay, so the funny thing about Suzuki versus Thatcher, I liked it a lot.
So, I get that.
Perverts, the shoot style perverts, like, it's one of their least favorite matches on the show.
Yes. So here's my problem with that match. I have already like this exact, like it wasn't even just that these two faced off against each other, but they had the exact same match they had in OTT like 5 years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like literally right down to the finish.
Oh,
with the exact same match. I think it went like the same amount of time as well.
Mm-hmm. And any closing thoughts on Bloodsport Bushido?
Mox said who drew more, this show or the Noah Korakuen Hall show we're going to talk about next?
Oh, I don't know.
might have been close, which is not good for a Sumo Hall show.
No, it's not. It's funny. Mox's promo at the end saying Bloodsport would be back in Japan.
Yeah, probably not in Sumo Hall. Also, because they got the Pride announcer and she just fucked up everybody's like announcing at the beginning. Like it was so weird when like people came out and she, like, I don't know, I think like, I don't remember, it was like Hideki came out and she announced Thatcher and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Okay, so we go on to Pro Wrestling Noah. Noah Star Navigation on June 9th in front of 938 fans, which I think was not a good number for what that was supposed to be. Paul, I'm going to talk about it first. The single matches, Anthony Green versus Takashi Sugiura and Naomichi Marufuji versus Jack Morris. I like Marufuji versus Jack Morris, actually.
Yeah.
Green versus Sugiura was fine. Surprise finish moment. I thought that Marufuji versus Morris was a nice little match. Better. Mm-hmm. Marufuji got the surprise roll up on Morris.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I didn't like is that they both ended with surprise like roll ups.
Yeah. And then the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title, Shuji Kondo and Eita defeated Yohei and Tadasuke in 1409 with the Imperial Uno from Eita on Yohei. They failed. The champions failed on their 8th defense. I thought this was pretty good for the most part.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and it ends like what I would say is one of the best like junior tag title reigns we've seen in a long time.
And in recent years.
Yeah.
I can't compare this to Kenta Fuji,
No, yeah, obviously not. That's unfair to like
but
pretty much everybody. But yeah,
but I'm talking in terms of defense lengths though. That it's up there though.
yeah. And also compared to like some of the stuff we've seen with like the Stinger nonsense and all of that.
Yeah. I mean, yes,
Raquel's.
Aiden back for most of this match, but I thought he did it well. He seemed to be a little more motivated.
It might be because he like finally signed a contract and all of that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Special tag match: Kaito, Kiyomiya, and Keno versus Gabe Kidd and Jake Lee. Double count out, 19 minutes and 2 seconds. I mean, I thought this was a great way to build up Kaito and Gabe. Kaito and Jake, especially Jake, were complete nothings in this match.
Oh, God, yeah. Jake, like you have just like Kaito and Gabe just like brawling and like wanting to like rip each other apart, and then Jake just being like, "Oh shucks, I'm also here."
I thought it was still pretty darn good though, and a great way to build it up. I think. Oh, when was the last time like a top star in a Japanese promotion bladed?
Trying to think. Yeah, it's been a while. Well, I mean, I guess unless you count Moxley as the current champion.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, no, it's definitely been a long time.
Yeah. Paul, the top 15 are out.
Oh, the top 15 are live on air.
Just released, Paul.
Ooh.
For the purposes of our interests.
Yes, we do need to check where Anzai is.
Guess where Gabe Kidd, number 9.
Ooh.
Yuma Aoyagi, number 8.
That's a lot higher than I thought it would be.
Utami finished 7th, which is surprising too. Shota 6. MJF 5, but Shun did 4. Yuma Anzai 3.
Ooh, yeah, that's way like we were like, oh, did he make the top 10? And no, he goes straight into the top 3.
Takesha number 2. Paul, can you guess who number 1 is?
I just saw it, yeah, but that also only leaves one person that it actually could be, and it is Kaito.
Wow, I did not expect that either.
No, I did not expect that, but I guess he just made that many ballots.
Yeah. Wow.
So no, yeah, that's amazing. And again, only 27, so he's going to be eligible for a while longer.
Yep. So I gotta say, I was actually quite. I didn't know where this was going to go. You never know. But I'm actually quite happy with it. I'm sure.
I actually kind of expected Takeshita to be number 1.
Oh, really?
Well, because I knew a bunch of people left MJF off their ballot. So I knew he wasn't going to like repeat as the number 1 guy because he just wasn't on enough ballots for that. And then I was like, well, who is realistically going to get like a vote from like both the people that mainly watch Japanese and the people that watch American wrestling? And I was Takeshita. But I mean, obviously, I'm happy that Kaito like actually managed to come in at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's well deserved over like the way like he's rebuilt himself over the last year.
Oh, congratulations, Kaito.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a good match to sort of bring that up in with. Paul, what did you think of the brawling after the match had formally?
Oh, I like that one. I thought that.
I thought that was great too.
Yeah. Again, like it really like showed that intensity that both of them had, and that they also brought in the actual like title match as well. And yeah, no, like that's what I really love. Like when you really bring that intensity, I think that kind of comes across a little bit. So yeah, no, I absolutely love that.
And then we go 1 week later on June 16th at Yokohama Buntai in front of 1,815 fans, which, well, that's a step up from their past Buntai number.
What past that? That's the new arena.
Sorry. Yokohama Budokan. Remember when they drew
Budokan,
like 1,000? Same city. I think it's fair to compare.
Yeah, but like it's significantly less than both Stardom and All Japan have drawn in the Buntai. You know?
Yes, it is.
Like I do like, yeah, maybe it's better than previous Yokohama numbers, but I do think it's still bad that they didn't manage to hit 2,000, which the other two have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this will be a good baseline to see where Kaito can go.
Yeah, I mean the Budokan number. Right. Well, the Budokan number has other things as well, but still, like I think that's going to be an interesting indicator as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to skip, unless there was something absolutely pressing on the undercard.
No. Well, this is very much a very top-heavy show.
Well, I'll just say this: Takumi Aroha versus the Great Sakuya was the best Great Sakuya.
Oh yeah, no, not even close.
Okay, so GHC Junior Heavyweight title: Daga defeated Starboy Charlie in 1440 with Dablo. I do not think this was Daga's best match, but I thought it was good enough. I saw some people absolutely pan this match. But what did you think? It was fine.
I think the criticisms were pretty harsh of it, but yeah, it was just kind of okay. It was kind of reverting back to like the Daga freestyle special, essentially.
Sure, but
where
some of that's
it was a perfectly
but some
acceptable
of it
match.
is a little bit of Charlie like.
Yes, yeah, no,
But
Charlie
here's the thing.
definitely.
Here's the thing. I'm a little maybe, look, given his pure raw talent, you got to do stuff with Charlie. Like I think
Yeah.
he'll grow into it. Like I'm relatively confident he's serious about becoming a great wrestler. So I'm
Oh,
not
for
worried
sure. I
about
mean, he's
that.
still like 18 or something, or 19.
No, he's like 22,
Oh, really?
but still very young. It's like 21 and 22. Maybe he'll be on my list next year.
I mean, he needs to ditch the overalls before I can consider him.
Anyway, yes, I thought it was just fine. But
Yeah, it was a perfectly acceptable match, but Daga had actually gotten to a place where I like actually had a little bit of higher expectations now, but I think we can put some of this actually on Starboy Charlie. I think maybe getting a little bit overwhelmed because this was like the biggest match he's been in so far in his career.
Yep, for sure. For sure.
So, but I think the talent is still there, and
absolutely,
it was just he had a bit of a case of the nerves, I think.
Yeah, let's go. Let's revisit. They should do a junior league, but anyway, let's revisit Charlie in a couple of months, and it's still making progress. GHC heavyweight tag team title. Naomi Marufuji and Takashi Sugiura defeated Jack Morris and Anthony Green in 1746 when Sugiura pinned Green with the Olympic Slam. They failed with their 9th defense. That was quite the reign. Mm-hmm. And Sugiura and Marufuji, the 67 champions. Paul, what do you think? I thought in some ways it was also sort of like underwhelming. I think it was better than the junior title match, but I think I might have hyped myself up for how great this.
Oh yeah, same. I thought it was a good match, not a great match. Little bit of a down note almost for them to enter title reign, because I really enjoyed that title reign. I don't know. Like sometimes maybe like the chemistry just doesn't fit exactly. But I mean, it still was good. Like it was still good for good professional wrestlers going in and having a good match. It just never really hit like another gear. And I'm going to miss this team. I do hope, even with GLG disbanding, that like they're still going to keep booking Green, because I think he fits in.
Yes, I don't think there's that much interest in other. Well, maybe there is, but I mean, he did the NXT. It didn't work out. But what I was going to say is like, what are they going to do with like, okay, Marufuji and Sugiura? Like, where is this going? Because like you've turned Inaba and Kitami into a jobber team.
Yeah.
Iwata and Keno are no longer a thing, and then obviously like
Oiwa and Kaito are no longer a thing.
Kaito are no longer a thing. Like all those, you got like Las Copadoras maybe, but like transitional champions.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really want to use Marufuji and Sugiura as like long-term champions, but I don't really see who's there to take it off of them.
I could see Las Copadoras.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you would have wanted to like put Sasaki in a team, but then he's gonna go for the red belt and probably beating Hayata, so he's gonna be busy with that. I mean, maybe if like I assume Yoichi is gonna lose against Kaito, maybe if you want to put him in a team with somebody to like go after the tag titles.
Yep. That's also a possibility.
But yeah, otherwise it is definitely weird to take these titles off of like Morris and Green right now, when you don't really have anybody else to like even feud with Sugiura and Marufuji. I mean, DN1 is coming up, but still,
so things may happen. And then made that GHC heavyweight title, Kaito Kiyomiya defeated Gabe Kidd at 27:55 with the modified sounding Wizard to make his first defense. I thought this was a great match. But I think given the style that they were going for, you didn't have to go 27:55, right? Because they basically attacked each other at the bell, brawled. You could have done this in 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I still went like 4.5 on it. But if it had been like a little bit shorter, because there was like a little bit.
I would have gone like, I went 4.25.
Yeah.
I would have gone higher if they cut out some.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Like I would have also gone even higher. Like I probably would have flirted with 5 if this had been like a lot more trimmed down in terms of time, because I think the stuff where they brought the intensity was like some of my favorite stuff I've seen so far this year.
Yeah.
Just like Kaito blading and like desperately trying to shake the blood out of his head.
Well, I thought they just opened up the blade from last week, and that's why it fizzled out so fast.
Well, yeah, at Gabe especially just like
Gabe blood
bleeding like a madman and just Like like when basically like when Gabe started bleeding and Kaito was like going for like a lockup, like Gabe just brushes him off and just slaps him in the face full force. I was like, no, motherfucker, we're not doing a lockup now. Like I'm bleeding like a crazy person, and we're just gonna beat the shit out of each other now. And yeah, no, that stuff in there I love. There was just like a little bit of stuff where, yeah, it just felt a little bit too long. Where sometimes there was a little too much filler in there that I think was unnecessary. But what I did love in the match was just tremendous. And yeah, I mean, Gabe is probably going to be in the N1 as well. I mean, not probably. He's not in the G1, so he's definitely going to be in the N1.
Oh, he's not in the G1. I totally. He's not in the.
He's not in the qualifier either. So he's definitely going to be in the N1.
We'll see.
I mean, it would be very weird if they leave him out of the G1 and then like he's just not doing anything.
That's true. Well, that's sort of a weird thing because they're like, well, he already had the challenge, but then he's going to go into the N1.
Yeah, you can have him get his win back there over Kaito, or they can do another double count out like they did in the G1. Like either way, they're definitely going to have a match in there because they're just too good against each other to like not do that.
Yeah,
again.
for sure.
Like you could maybe put them in like the same block as OE was as well, and like maybe establish something there that you're going to pay off in like New Japan.
Yeah, you could do that too. That's not a bad idea. And then you don't have to necessarily sacrifice any Noah guys too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the trade. Like Jake goes into the G1 and then Oiva and Gabe Kidd go into the N1. Yeah, which I don't know. That feels like for the first time in a long time feels like a trade Noah absolutely comes out on top on.
Yep, that's funny. And then of course out of the show, the GLG is disbanding. We already talked about who knows what that could mean for Jake. We speculated. It's all just speculation at this point. N1 field though, we have Titus and Oiwa declaring, and then Huxley has Saxon Huxley has dates during the N1, and Anthony Green apparently.
So those two are out. Green, I don't know for sure. Huxley, I've definitely seen. Like I think he has a date exactly like the day of the Yokohama show.
Okay.
So he's definitely not gonna be able to make it. So he's out, and then everybody else is still kind of up in the air. I mean, obviously, like people like Kaito or whatever, like definitely gonna be in there. But yeah, we don't really have a good idea yet who's actually going to be in there.
There'll be surprise foreigners.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're just gonna pull like another like Jack Morris out of the hat as well.
Yeah, we'll see who the surprise foreigners are. And then we go to June 19th, Corkin Hall, Limit Break 3, Go Shizaki debut 20th anniversary in front of 1,220 fans, which I think is a respectable number.
Yeah.
For this. Paul, I only watched the top 3 matches of this morning. We have Kazuyuki Fujita defeating Kazusada Higuchi in 9:13 with a face kick. Paul, this was what you expected. This had some great, them just beating the crap out of each other, although Higuchi looked like a bit of because he got kicked like a couple times on the ground before getting pinned. I expect maybe a little more.
It's a Fujita match, right? Like that's the thing.
Yeah. And Higuchi just feels like he's been completely downcycled.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think we talk about it like every other episode, but like if there's one DDT guy that should go to Noah or do something in Noah, like put that guy in the N1, you know?
Yeah. Okay. And then World Heavyweight.
You know what? That's a team you put together. Yoichi and Higuchi.
Oh.
We actually didn't talk about that. Yoichi also popped up after the main event.
Kiyomiya, and gave Muso to Kiyomiya.
And he got a big pop for that. Or at least a big reaction from the crowd.
Okay, so Paul, actually, let's talk about that now then. Do you think that this Yoichi in the main event of Budokan has a lot of similarities to putting Tsuji in the main event of last year?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Tsuji was clear young lion that went off on excursion. Yoichi was like there for several years out beyond rookie status, and he just got beat. It's a little different to me, and I feel like he might have been too damaged. I don't know.
I mean, he got a good reaction from the crowd, right? So I don't think it's completely lost, but they definitely have to be very careful about how they book him. Like also instantly putting him in a
because I don't think he's going to win.
Yeah, that's the other problem here, because you're probably going to beat him again. But that's what I mean. Then immediately you need to put him in like a tag team or something like that, and then instantly have him win like the tag titles or have him do something.
Paul,
to immediately establish him.
You can't have him win the N1 again unless you're going to have him Kaito for the title, like in September, whatever, or October. But I think if you want to keep up the momentum, sending Yoichi to the finals is a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. Like, he has to go on like a streak, beat like a bunch of guys that are in his block, go to the finals. Like, he can lose in the finals to like Oiwa, for example. Like, if you want to have Oiwa win and then have a title match with Kaito, I think that's something he can do. But he definitely needs to like I would almost have him go unbeaten in his block, just to like, if you really want to establish him as a dominant monster, like that, you need to do some serious work with.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then okay, so we talked about that 0-1 World Heavyweight title. Akitoshi Saito defeated Chris Weiss in 9 minutes with the Death Brand. You know what, Paul? This was better than their first match, and
Okay.
I dug this. It was pretty simple stuff, but they hit each other really hard, and it was like under 10 minutes. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Fair enough. And then I think they're
don't have
like
to
doing
rush
like
out
Go versus Saito again, right?
at the Budokan.
Yeah, I mean, Go's got to win, right? Like, they can't do another like non-finish there.
Yeah. No, I expect Go to. That's so. Yeah. I mean, I've been pleasantly surprised for the most part by this Saito reign. I mean, we talked about the first Saito and Go match, and then I enjoyed this Chris Weiss match. I mean, and I'm grading on a bit of a curve because what were you expecting out of
Akitoshi Saito
Saito
in 2024?
Yeah. So and then main event, Go Shiozaki 20th anniversary. Go Shiozaki and Jun Akiyama versus Naomichi Marufuji and Takashi Sugiura went to a time limit draw in 30 minutes. Paul, it shocks to tell you that this was a very good professional.
I am shocked given the people that were involved in this match. You're really telling me that these four men had a good professional wrestling match?
Yeah, I'd say 3 3/4, 4 stars. Like, they had filled some time up in the middle with lots of just chopping each other and everything, but it's just like high quality wrestling.
Actually, I mean, if we're talking about like random teams getting put together to go after the tag titles, I mean, I know June doesn't want to do mainline Noah for some reason, but like, yeah, something you could do.
And then, Go cut a promo and the show ended with Misawa's music actually upon his exit.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, because we had just passed the 15th anniversary of Misawa's passing. And so just looking at some of these upcoming Noah cards, if there's anything to talk about beyond the Budokan, not really. It's all just tags. So quick Budokan card update. 3-way tag match, Ninja Mac Junta Miyawaki versus Alejandro and Crystal Ball versus Hajime Ohara and Super Crazy. 6-man tag match, Segura, Kazuyuki Fujita, Suhei Taniguchi versus Masa Kitamiya. Manabu Soya is back, and Daiki Inaba. Soya came back a lot faster than I thought he would.
I am shocked how quickly he came back.
Because it's like elbow injury, and he's like 40 now almost, or about. So, yeah. 6-man tag match, Shuji Kondo, Ada, and Akira versus Yoshinori Ogawa, Raiho Iiwa, and Yuo Wada. Paul, I have reasonably high expectations for this match.
Yeah. After the recent Akira performances, I'm definitely a lot more excited about this than I would have been otherwise.
Single match, Keno versus Yuji Nagata.
That is a very random match, but also one I'm looking forward to.
Yep. And then the GLG final, Jake Lee, Yohei, and Tadasuke versus Jack Morris, Anthony Green, and LJ Cleary. I assume that the Japanese team wins and pins Cleary.
Yeah. Cleary. I mean, Cleary is another guy I hope he doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Yeah. After all of this, I do think they should keep booking him. I think he's been good, but yeah, I'm a little bit afraid for him there.
World Heavyweight Championship. 0-1. Kaito Saito versus Go. We just talked about that, obviously. GHC National Championship match. Hayata versus Uka Sasaki. Sasaki made Hayata tap out to a heel hold in the Budokan show. Paul, what do you think happening here? I've said the national title is a good thing to do with Sasaki, but it's Hayata, and I feel like they're going to protect him and have more than a zero defense reign.
I don't know. I do think there is a chance. I do think Sasaki is winning here. I know it's very quick.
Hayata retains.
I mean, there's nothing really there.
I would not bet money on either result. I'll tell you.
Yeah, fair enough. But the way they've been building up, Sasaki as well, with him just being a killer with submissions, right? Because it's just how quickly everybody taps out as well when he puts a submission on.
Yeah.
So I think they're very clearly trying to establish him as that. And him being a bit older as well, him already being 34, I think, right? So you do kind of need to speed things up with him. So I do think there is a really good chance that he's winning here because they're probably just gonna. I think Noah very much feels like they're in just like, okay, let's just toss stuff at the wall and see what sticks mode. And well, they should be as well. So I do think that's what they're gonna do here with Sasaki, because I don't know. I never really saw like a reason why they put this belt on Hayata in the first place. That was always very weird. And so I think it's just the best idea to just move it on to Sasaki quickly and see if he's the guy that can carry a belt or not.
GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship match. Daga versus Amaska. I think it's pretty obvious where this is going.
Yeah, that Amaxa is gonna win this one.
And bring Daga's mostly good reign to it.
Yeah, no. He definitely exceeded expectations. I will give him that. But it feels right now, like he's carried that belt for like a good long while now. And Amaxa he is like the top guy in the division that they have. And so it's just the right decision to move on from him and move on from Daga and have some like fresh matchups for Amaxa.
And then Lucha Libre special tag match. Hio to Dr. Wagner Jr. and Galeno Del Mal versus Dragon Bane and Alpha Wolf. What a match.
That match is going to be insane.
Do you think this is Galeno's basically he's going to
They literally labeled it as his debut on their Twitter.
Okay, so it is. But is it like he's going to be more than one? You know what I mean? Did they steal him? Great.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, like he's not going to be in the N1 because he has a Triple Mania date during the N1. So he's not gonna be able to make that. But otherwise, I mean, Noah would be stupid if they didn't bring him in, right? Like he just fits perfectly. Like it gives his brother, like he has a natural tag partner with. Actually, you know what? We're blind. That's the obvious tag team to take the titles of Marufuji and Segura.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah. So they absolutely should bring him in. I think he can do a lot of single stuff as well. He's a bit younger than his brother as well, so I think he still has a lot more room to grow. And so they 110% should bring him in permanent. And it might also maybe make it more likely that the brother re-ups as well, if he can, like Wagner Fiji re-ups as well, because he can like team with his brother more regularly in Japan.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I think there's not a zero chance he leaves in zero.
No, I do think that is possible, yeah.
And then singles. Oh, sorry.
I do have the football games on the side, and
okay.
Georgia actually just scored a second goal, so they're going to beat Portugal.
Oh wow!
I got distracted by that. Yeah.
And then special singles match, Naomi Michi Marufuji Styles. We were away during all of this all went down because this was announced.
Yeah, it was announced at the Yokohama show. Yeah. So what do you think about this relationship?
I don't care. I think this is cool. I think this is cool that we're getting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it obviously happens a little too late, but I'm very happy that it does happen at all. Yeah.
Look,
it would have been such a shame if it never happened.
Exactly. Look, they'll do like there's the only way this is going to fall apart is if someone gets injured in the match. They will have a solid to very good match guaranteed. Maybe not as spectacular as it would have a number of years ago, but you know.
I mean, how many times do we have to do the like Marufuji is washed routine and then him very obviously like still being able to go when he's put in a big match until people realize that that's just how he is now. Like you can't judge his like normal match performance versus like whenever he's put in like a really proper big match where he will be motivated, and that's one of these. Right? We had that against Ospreay. We had that. I mean, hell, we had that again in a title match against Jake Lee. And we're definitely gonna have that here as well because like these two obviously know who the other one is, and both of them are gonna be motivated to like get as close as they could be to what they were in like 2008.
Yeah, for sure. And then the main event, Yoichi versus Kaito Kiyomiya for the GHC heavyweight title. I expect they're gonna go hard.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Yoichi probably has all the motivation in the world to just show that he can be a top guy. So he's just gonna go nuts, basically. Because this is really like put up or shut up time for him. If he really wants to like not just to himself, but like or the fans, but like probably quite literally to the promotion that he can be a guy. Like he has to do that here.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Okay, so that is Pro Wrestling Noah. I would say that that's a hell of a card for that Budokan, if you ask me.
And also Kaito and Yoichi actually main eventing, right? Because there was like a little bit of a thing. Or are they actually gonna do what they did to Soya and Kano at the beginning of the year and
They
like
learned their
put
lesson.
the like special attraction match over them? But no, it looks like they're actually gonna go all in on Kaito and put him in the main event.
No, they learned from that blowback on that one.
I mean,
So-
Kano already complained about it. So
Yeah. So, All Japan, we missed a lot of shows.
yeah.
I am just looking. Okay, so there was a show on June 1st. I'm just looking through it. Shinkiba on April 4th. That main event, Yuma Anzai and Ren Ayabe defeated Kento Miyahara and Shotaro Ashino when Ayabe used the death roulette on Ashino. That was a bit of a big match. Really trying to put them over.
Yeah.
Really
established that faction.
And then on June 8th, there was a show. Oh, that was the Yuma Aoyagi show. So I thought that all those Yuma Aoyagi matches were actually a lot of fun. I would even dare say that the Kento Miyahara main event was better than their match in the Champion Carnival.
Okay.
And I thought.
Well, to be fair, that match was a little bit disappointing. So
yeah, Yuma versus Hokuto was a lot of fun. Honda and Aoyagi have really good chemistry, and I thought that's shown there again.
It's also one of the few okay, maybe Ryuki Honda's booking isn't too terrible because he actually won.
Yeah. So but there was, and then like the semi-main was like Jun Seto, Rei Seto, and Fuminori Abe versus Yuma Anzai, Rising Hato, and Musashi, which is actually a good match. And then on the 9th in Gifu, in front of 573 fans, the only match from this show I watched. Oh, I should say, I did watch like some of those the end tag matches that they were just in. Those were a lot of fun on those. They exceeded my expectations, and I want to see them back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they always generally whenever they are put in this position to go to Japan, they generally always deliver.
And then main event of the show on the 9th was Rising Haru defeating Fuminori Abe in 1720 to retain the PWF World Junior Heavyweight Championship in their third defense. This is a really good match.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, look at these two.
Yeah. I mean, not like blowaway or anything, but still very good match type thing.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I mean, it was the main event, but it was also in front of 573 fans in Gifu.
Yeah, Gifu.
If they had given them the Korakuen main event,
Oh, this definitely. I still went 4 on this, but I probably would have gone even higher if they had been in a proper big venue, proper big time match.
Paul, did you watch any of this free that show they did that was free and they put on YouTube on June 10th?
Oh, it was on YouTube because I was I don't think I even saw it on All Japan TV.
No, they put it on All Japan TV as well. I think.
Okay, then maybe I missed it completely then.
But they also put it anyway. I didn't watch a single match from the show. It was just a bunch of tag match. It was a free show. You're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
Someone paid them to do this. So then we hop over to Korakuen Hall on June 24th for the Dynamite Series 24 in front of 1,235 fans. I don't know. That's decent for a Monday night.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Monday night of a guy that is a year and a half in against Hideki Suzuki, who's not known to be a great draw. I think it's generally it is actually one of the lower Korakuen numbers this year, but I think it's still there's a lot of qualifiers there that actually make this a pretty good number.
Yeah. Okay, so we started with an Actress Girls offer match, which I thought, to be fair, not really. I need to get familiar with this new crop or this crop that they're now using because the other one's all left. This is actually fine and decent, perfectly decent match. Me and Aona Irie defeated Natsuki and Nagisa Shiotsuki in 10-13 with a teardrop angel from Irie on Shiotsuki. Okay, so we start the show. The 4 come out, Anzai, Hayato, Ayabe, and Honda, and they call themselves LP, which means hope.
I mean, that's cool. That made me a little bit afraid that Anzai was going to lose because I'm well, why didn't they just announce it after the main event? But it did make more sense because I feel like they wanted to sell merch during intermission with the name. So that's why they announced it at the beginning.
So Gaio TV title, Fuminori Abe defeated Seigo Tachibana in 12-20 with the modifier. This is great.
Yeah.
Damn. It's sort of funny because I thought, okay, Abe is gonna like lost the junior title match. No, we got more Abe guaranteed in All Japan, which is good.
Which there's another like title match where that's the same thing where I'm like, okay, I'm happy that these guys won because that means they're gonna be around more. But yeah, no, I mean also Seigo Tachibana, just kudos, just one of the best Gaio TV title reigns ever.
I just realized that.
Wait, is he still under 30? Oh shit.
Yeah. He's like 20.
Yeah, I should have found it. Damn it. I probably would have put him over Sekifuda.
I'd like put him at like 30 to 29 or 30, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. Damn. Well, we'll see where he is next year.
Yeah, because how old is he?
He's younger than you think.
Yeah, because he looks old. That's the thing.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah.
Because someone mentioned that as well, that like Adam Priest is still under 30, and I'm like, what the fuck? No, he looks like he's 36. Like.
Yeah, he's born August 1st, 1997.
Oh wow. Okay.
So he's got a couple more years.
Yeah. So at least like 3 more years. Okay, so then I'll definitely find a space for him next time.
So the Hokuto Gun versus All Japan. Ryu Inoue return, also Ryu Inoue return special. Hokuto Mori, Kuma Arashi, Harley Jackson, and Dum 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 Cyrus defeated Kento Miyahara, Suwama Shotaro Shino, and Ryu Inoue in 9:25 when Omori used a frog splash on Shino. Well, probably swerved us in a couple. First of all, I'm ambivalent on the Cyrus.
Yeah.
I was hoping Kawakawa. Well, I mean, obviously Nakajima was the pipe dream. So it looks like we're gonna get more Cyrus around.
I mean, that's also like, I don't know why is he the X? Like he was just there. That's not a big surprise.
I know. And Ashino doing the job here when Inoue in the return match.
Yeah.
And he just lost to Ayabe.
Yeah. He's sliding down the card, unfortunately.
Well, I kind of see their point. They wanted like Hokuto to make, no pun intended, big splash. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And then in a no DQ match, a match was fine, but the whole point was just to like get over Hokuto.
No, obviously, because you can't have them lose in the first match, otherwise they're gonna be demon egoist. Which Jesus Christ, what the fuck are you doing? Great.
No DQ match. Yuma Aoyagi defeated Kuroshio Tokyo, Japan in 1918. I don't know, Paul. I think I saw some people who really like this match. I thought it was just them hitting weapons for 15 in the last couple minutes. Is actually decent when they do that. So I went like 3 stars.
Yeah, no, to me this was one of those bad like WWE like weapons matches basically, where like, yeah, if you use weapons, then like I don't know, it should feel a bit more dangerous than it did here, where I don't know, especially coming off of the Gabe Kidd Kaito Kiyomiya match, and you tell me this is a no DQ match? Come on now. It just can't even compare in terms of intensity.
Now, to be fair, Gerard did take some big bumps.
Yeah, no, he did, definitely. But still, it was okay. It was like, I don't think it was bad, but like it was fine. And
they shook hands after the match.
Moves on from this now and just does something proper.
Yeah, they shook hands after the match.
Yeah. And also, luckily, that means like Jiro didn't turn heel because like heel Jiro, like his thing is the entrance. Like if you just take that from him, there's just kind of nothing left.
Yeah.
And he can't do the entrance as a heel, so he has to stay a face.
Yeah. And next up, All Asia Tag Team Championship. Seki Yoshioka Musashi defeated Dan Tamura and Hikaru Sato in 16:30 with a Nitin Ichiru from Musashi on Sato for to become the new champions, and the champions fail on their second defense attempt. Poor Dan and Hikaru, they can never hold these titles for. That being said,
what is their longest reign? Like, did they ever get more than 2 defenses of these?
I don't think they got more than 1 defense. Maybe they had one other reign with these titles, right? They won it at Budokan and
then immediately lost them. Yeah.
So even though they feel like there'd be a team that they do things with, like, don't they feel that way, sort of?
Yeah, and then they never really do. They're always kind of around.
Yeah. Oh God. So their first, they beat Minoru and Toshizo for the All Asia Tag titles at the 50th anniversary. They defeated them against Seigo Tachibana and Yusuke Kodama, and then they lost them to Tajiri and Yoshitatsu.
Oh God. Oof, that's rough.
Well, anyway, but look, we got more Musashi, who seems to be a regular now, and Seki Yoshioka, so I really can't complain that much. Match was really good.
Yep.
I thought Musashi and Sato in those closing minutes were great. I thought Sato was going to get him a tap.
Oh yeah, no, I was surprised when they actually like won the match, but I was like, okay, no, I'm very happy that they actually did, because that just means those two will stick around, and that can just be good for All Japan.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
And then
I think landing Musashi is one of the biggest W's they've gotten so far this year. It's been like
underrated,
tremendous addition for the junior division.
And then 3 versus 3 elimination match. Jun Saito, Rei Saito, and Mr. Saito Naruki Doi defeated Honda, Ren Ayabe, and Rising Hayato 3-2 in 15 minutes. So Jun threw Honda over the top rope. Hayato got Rei over the top rope. Hayato and Abe threw Jun over the top rope. And then Doi got like Ayabe off over the top rope.
Mhm.
And then Doi eliminated Hayato with a cradle. This is a lot of fun. Doi just was like going wild here.
Doi was the highlight of the whole match. Like, he's
Yeah.
so good at this.
Anyway, this obviously sets up what you think it's going to set up.
Mhm.
And then also the Saitos said there would be more members coming to their faction.
So who do you think is more likely as a new member? Saito Del Mal or Saito Rollins?
Saito Rollins.
I should mention, so we're nothing if not
That's the
gigantic
most
nerds
inside joke.
at Voices of Wrestling. So we kind of did a TEW wrestling draft, and I made Diamond Ring 2.0 Diamond Ring, including the faction, the Saitos, which with a Z obviously at the end, which is obviously Mr. Saito Naruki Doi, Jun Saito, Rei Saito, Saito Del Mal, and Saito Rollins. I don't think either of these are going to be popping up actually in All Japan, but it would be very funny. But I feel like it is going to be some sort of like stuff like that, where it isn't actually like someone named Saito. Because I actually looked at on Cage Match, like there is a surprisingly small amount of Saitos, really. Like I thought there would have been more in Japanese wrestling, but like actually haven't been that many Saitos. Or like
What
if there were,
about,
like a lot of them are dead. That's also the problem.
What about Super Shisa?
Yeah, Super Shisa is actually one that I think would make sense, because he's kind of like a bit out of Dragon Gate now as well. Like really, really far outside shot that it's going to be Kanas, but I think that's really, really far out there. Akitoshi Saito is also extremely unlikely, but would be very funny.
I mean, look, I think Kawakami is a
Saito. I mean, he would fit in really well with the with Jun and Rei. So you make him Saito Kawakami.
Yep.
Oh
yeah. So then we move on to the Triple Crown. Yuma Anzai defeated Hideki Suzuki in 22:06 with the Gimlet to make his second successful defense of the title. Rocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was great. Gerard, are you still there?
Oh, can you hear me now? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, now I can hear you. Okay.
I accidentally hit a button on my mic that muted me.
Yeah, okay. Because he kind of cut off in the middle of the sentence as well, so I was like not sure what was happening.
I was asking, do you think there was a botch in the last couple of minutes? What was
that? I don't think there was a botch. I do think they kind of like did it how they intended it to. I think this was literally just they sold like Anzai like being exhausted, and that's why because you have to like they're still like in the process of coming up like counters for the Gimlet and all of that. So although to be quite frank, I don't think they should develop the Gimlet any further. I think he should do something else.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten enough matches now. Like I can see what he's trying to do, and I do think it's like it would work as well if he develops it further and all of that, and can actually like turn that into like an interesting finisher with interesting reversals and all of that, which is what you want. But I think it is going to like kill his neck.
Yeah.
Like he already struggled to do this with Hideki. Like I don't even know what he's gonna do with like Suwama.
Right.
Like, can't even imagine him being able to do it. Like, it would be amazing if he did, but like, I think we talked about it before, right? We made that joke earlier, but like Yuma and Kento are like the best at like preserving their bodies.
Yeah.
And I really don't think
Anzai also bumps like a madman too.
Yeah. Well, he's bumping like a guy that is like fresh into the business, gets pushed to the top immediately, and is also like 25, I think. So.
Yeah. But I don't. I mean, look. I was going to say I don't look. If those were botches, I don't think it really hurt the match that well because they recovered them well, right? And then Anzai did the headbutt before the last gimlet attempt, which was successful and everything like that. So that was cool. But yeah, I mean, I thought this was, a part of me wants to say this is better than the Kento match, but I don't think so. But I really like this.
Yeah, no, I do think the Kento match was better. To me, this was like a match that was incredibly similar to the N1 final that Hideki had with Kaito. Because like kind of similarly to that, right? Like Hideki, like he took a lot of the match, but he also put the other guy over simply by him just like literally like throwing everything he had at Anzai like staying alive, and then just coming back and just beating Hideki definitively as well. Like he kicked out of his finisher, and then he hit him with his own finish. Then he used the gimlet and beat him like definitively, and just I thought this was a tremendous match. And Hideki, I mean, again, we really kind of need to like reevaluate some of these like narratives around him and what he's actually doing.
Reevaluate, more like just acknowledge that things have evolved. I don't think it changes what he was doing. Like
no. I mean, it doesn't change like what he did to like Wrestle One.
Yeah, but he in Big Japan, but he's more of a team player now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then after the match, Suwama came out, which is something that I honestly did not see coming. So upcoming shows. They've got a Dan Tamura homecoming on June 29th. And the match there is Suwama and Dan Tamura versus Yuma, Anzai, and Maruki Honda, which could absolutely rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Jackie Kennedy is going to be on that show as well, or Jack Kennedy.
Yeah, I mean, they like this guy. He's fine.
Yeah,
I gotta see more of him to make a past judgment. I mean, he's got a decent size. I see why they like. He's like 6'2" or 3. I'm just okay. So on the 30th, they have a show. June 30th, it has Ryuki Honda versus Cyrus, Musashi versus Ryo Inoue. Hey, that sounds good.
That's going to be fun. Yeah.
On the 29th, we got Rising Kaito versus Ryo Inoue in a non-title match. So that's cool. Suwama versus Seigo Tachibana on the 30th.
I kind of low-key, like if they do an actual match and isn't just Suwama squashing Tachibana, I think that actually could be fun.
And so July 4th, New Age Chronicle number 5, Kiba. You got Dan Tamura versus Ryo Inoue, Hokuto Omori versus Jack Kennedy, a 3-way match, Jun Saito versus Rei Saito versus Seigo Tachibana.
One of these things is not like the others.
Actually,
Seigo Tachibana would be another Saito I could see, actually. They turn him into Saito Tachibana.
That will set it up, that match.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, I think this is the last New Age Chronicle show because they got the Celebrating New Age Chronicle Graduation 8-man tag matches: Yuma Aoyagi, Shotaro Ishino, Kuma Rashid Funori Abe versus Yuma Anzai, Ryuki Honda, Rising Hato, and Ren Ayabe. And then they have like a New Age Chronicle Graduation Battle Royale with everyone on the show.
I mean, it would be a shame if it is. One alternative I can give you is that this is Yuma Aoyagi's graduation from the New Age Chronicles.
Oh, that makes sense. Sorry, yes.
Because he's no longer eligible. I mean, we'll see if they keep doing these going forward, but it could also just be like Yuma's last New Age Chronicles show.
That makes sense. I never even thought about it. Okay, Paul, this is what we got to talk about. July 13th, 2024, Edion Arena, Osaka number 2. All Japan or PWF World Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Junior Heavyweight Championship. Rising Hato versus Naruki Doi. What do you think? I could see this going either way.
I could see this go either way. I mean, they had a tremendous match like when Doi was champion. And
that was like the coming out match too.
Yes, it really was. So I do think they're gonna I hope they actually will be able to top that one. I could also see this go either way because again they love doing these like babyface champion chases the title stories with this one. And especially because like with the new Saitos faction and everything, probably want to like maybe put like a belt on Doi as well, so that like him and the Saitos both have belts. But also, I mean, I really loved like Hayato's title reign so far, so I'm definitely not against seeing it continue.
I think they should just keep it on him.
Yeah. But again, I do think to me it might actually be like 50-50 on who wins here.
And then in your main event for the Triple Crown, Yuma Anzai versus Suwama. So, okay, a couple things. I panicked when Suwama came out because you can never discount him. Mm-hmm. You simply cannot discount him even with what I'm about to say. But the fact that this is at Osaka Edion number 2 instead of like Korakuen or somewhere bigger slightly makes me think Anzai's just.
I mean, I do like after he had the shot against Yuma Aoyagi, like that to me felt like a very clear transition of like Suwama out of being like a potential Triple Crown champion. I similarly also think that it's like, I think we're still in the period now where we're like both a bit anxious about him being in these matches, especially if it's against someone like Anzai.
Yeah.
Like if it was like Suwama versus Kento, I would be like, yeah, there's no fucking way Suwama beats him. I also think like it just makes the most sense to there's just no reason to go to Suwama.
Well,
Like
because you want to put the title back on Kento or Yuma Aoyagi, and you don't want to burn that match yet because you want to do it in December at Yoyogi or something.
Sure. But still, like, I don't know, it would just feel like a complete waste to like end what has been like a really good
Or
first
Paul,
title
hear me
reign on
out.
Suwama.
Hear me out. You want to put the title on Jun Saito and Hiroshi in
Miyagi, in Sendai, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have actually thought about that. And what if he just beats Anzai? You
Yeah.
know? What if just Jun Saito beats Anzai for the title? I think that is a much better idea than Suwama.
As a transition, yeah.
Yeah. And then again, you have another guy that like Anzai has to overcome.
Look, I'm saying I think Anzai is winning. I just don't think you can completely discount it.
No, absolutely.
Maybe,
yeah, I mean,
maybe it's a little
I
PTSD talking
can
and
never
stuff.
discount Suwama.
No. They're stacking this Edion Arena show.
Oh yeah.
They got a Korakuen the next week, which we'll talk about because on July 20th in Korakuen Hall, it's the Kyohei Wada 50th anniversary memorial match. Masanobu Fuchi, Jun Saito, and Rei Saito versus Suwama, Dan Tamura, and Takao Omori. Which is, I think, a pretty good match, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my Masanobu Fuchi anniversary shirt out of my closet and I'm gonna wear that when I watch the show.
I would assume that the Saitos and Fuchi will win, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless they want to do
Or maybe
like, establish
gets
like a
pinned, I don't
tag.
know.
Yeah, Fuchi could get pinned. They could like get like a tag title match out of that one.
Yeah,
They want to
Dan
do
and
like
Tamura.
Suwama and Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no tag title match announced yet.
No.
There's no obvious challenges either.
And I mean, that's the other thing. Like, I do like the Saitos as tag champs, but if one of them is going to be the Triple Crown champion,
Wow, yeah.
I don't think they're going to
don't
be
think
double
that's-
champions.
I don't think that one of them will crown. I'm putting that out there for possible scenarios of
I-
why Suwama would win.
I really kind of low-key think that might happen, to be honest.
Yeah?
That they're going to put the belt on a Saito because they are just super over. And if you ever want to do it, why not do it now? Because I don't think it hurts Anzai. Like he's like if he beats Suwama, like if he beats Kento, he beats Nakajima, Kento Miyahara, Hideki Suzuki, and Suwama. I don't think it hurts him if he loses to a Saito.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That is all Japan. And Paul, any closing thoughts here? We went 2.5 hours. Well, I'm glad we did
We had a lot to do, yeah. We had a lot
I'm
to
glad
cover.
we did the 30 under 30
Yeah.
at the end. Because that's a little good conversation. I'm glad we did Bloodsport.
Yeah. There was a lot of different things to cover on the show. I mean, for next, let's see how much time we'll have for next time. But let's see. Well, like I don't remember when like the Osaka Pro shows come up on Wrestle Universe, but I think that might be within that. But yeah, definitely, I do feel good about both promotions right now, both Noah and. I mean, with Noah, I would just love if they would just draw more. But like All Japan feels like in a really good, stable place right now, which is good to see because it's been a while since we've had that. Just All Japan being stable. Watch half the roster walk out in like the next week or so because that's just what they do.
Entirely possible, yes.
They just redo like, I don't know, Wrestle Free or I don't know, some other Bible themed promotion or I don't even know.
No, I guess I know. I think All Japan is pretty safe for the next little while unless they do something really stupid. And interestingly enough, Noah, even though it's like stability in terms of business, it's like I don't know, like they could still chase some bad habits and everything like that with what they've got.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, if they like put the belt on AJ's, like as much as I like AJ versus like Marufuji, like if this ends with like AJ as the champion, I think that's pretty dumb. Or with like Nakamura as champion, which I could also see happening. Like I was surprised it wasn't Nakamura that was announced here.
I think it's funny because I think like but Styles and Nakamura would not be like absolute the worst thing ever.
No, like those still fine, yeah. Or like someone like Dempsey or whatever.
So, one thing though, it's just like, but like, look, if one of them like lost, won the title, AJ or something, Nakamura, I don't know. People would get angry and think that the sky's falling and Noah's about to die or WWE's about to take over everything and everything.
Okay, also, sorry, can we just address that right now?
Yeah.
Like, if WWE is not going to buy Noah. The last time WWE has bought a promotion was in 2001. Like, it's the last time they ever did that. Like, they haven't, like, they're not a company that does M&A because they haven't done it in over 20 years. Like, that's just not how they operate.
No.
Like, they might take talent. That might happen. But, like, they're not gonna, like, buy the promotion because it's just not what they do.
Yeah. But, like, what I'm just going to say is, like, I am not, like, sorry, none of this is going to make me, I'm sorry. I just didn't see any evidence to do so, right?
Yeah. Again, they don't have an office in Japan. Like, what they're going to do.
Anyway, with that, we'll be back in a couple of weeks to talk about what's next because we've got some big stuff coming up. So we will talk to you very soon. Take care.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-Star Match Game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.